Ah, okay. I see what you're saying there, son.
Yeah, man.
All right, here we go. We're getting ready for the last World Cup here in Antwerp, in Belgium. Pretty bad South African accent, actually, isn't it?
There it is. And then our world champ, he did also a very good semi-final. Here he is from Great Britain, Jack Carty. With these 6 riders, we are starting in 5 minutes with the big final. So ladies and gentlemen, we are starting with all the 6 riders at the right side. It means on the section 1 from Milwaukee. And then we are going to section 2, the Cantor Hotel. Then we are coming to the Deliveroo, then to the Lotto. And then we have the final section, that's Volkswagen commercial vehicles. So we are starting with all the 6 riders in the start at the Milwaukee section. It is Vincent Hermans who is starting. C'est Vincent Hermans qui va commencer. Et après le 6e pilote, Jack Carty, on va immédiatement aux sections numéro 2. Every rider is starting on the same level. It means 0 points. And if they touch with their bike one of the obstacles, you have 1 penalty point. Then when you are putting 1 foot on the ground, you have also 1 penalty point. When you have 5 points, then you have to end your race and going to the next one. So at the end of the race, it is necessary to have not many penalty points. We have started the race within 3 minutes. We had a lot of concentration of all our pilots. And just what I want to know is our crowd ready? So, crowd here in Antwerp, are you ready? Yes. Maybe we can do a little wait. Maybe we can do it. We are starting over there and then we are going like that. So, hands on the ground. Yes. And then we are going to do a little wave in Antwerp. We are starting over there. 1, 2, 3, hands up! Yay! And now at the side we have also people. Eh? Maybe we can try it again. Okay, we are starting, restarting. 1, 2, 3, go! Yes, we go over there. Yeah. Heel goed. Okay, we come over there. And now the other side, heads up. Yeah. And restart. Okay. And now we are doing the same, but with noise. Met geluid, kunnen jullie horen? 3, 2, 1, ja! Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, we have also a lot of cameras. There we have a big one, very high. Maybe you can say hello to your hometown, eh?
You can't hear the...
Better, I can hear you. Oh, there we go. Actually, can hear something now.
okay.
Was that you? Did you turn something on?
No, I didn't.
Oh, right.
I was speaking to the OB then.
And you can support for your riders and the French people also for the other, eh? Not only for the French, also for the other, eh? Okay? Yes. Merci bien, eh? Okay.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody, and okay, so apparently we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the UCI World Cup in Antwerp. Fantastic day. I'm here with Andre Burton in a very hot, little bit sweaty sound booth.
One minute before it starts.
Yes.
You're alive.
Okay. All right, yes, so we are definitely live on air. A little bit of a confusion there. Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Dylan Victor, all the way out here from Cape Town. Fantastic to be here for an awesome event. And I'm joined in the booth by Andre Burton.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hey Dylan, how are you?
Fantastic, man.
Fantastic, it's good to see you again. I only ever get to see you in Belgium.
Yeah, well, it's like our 2-year meet. Every year we meet twice in Belgium. It's like...
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
lovely.
great, but next time let's meet in South Africa.
For sure. And we're about to get going with the start of the 26-inch final, and what a final it is going to be.
It is, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Obviously, we have 6 of the best riders in the entire world competing, including current world champion Jack McCarthy. The top 3 spots are very, very close on points. So today's competition is vitally important for the overall winner of the World Cup 2017.
And of course, the other thing is it's the last event, which means double points.
It means double points, exactly, of course. Yeah, I totally knew that, yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, our 6 riders is starting from the position number 6 in 6th place. It was Vincent Hermans coming through with 22 points, and this is in the semi-final. It was then Gilles Costelier with 13 points. It was Nicolas Valli with 10 points. It then went to Sergi Longueras from Spain. He was with 9 points. 2nd place, Kenny Beale, the local, the Belgian rider, with only 7 points. And then Jack Carthy, the rider from Great Britain, absolutely nailing it. 0 points in the semi-final this morning. So, yeah.
It's pretty amazingly spectacular that Jack managed to finish on 0 there when you think about how good all the other riders are as well. You know, like I said before, the best in the world, and Jack still managed to finish on clean. Pretty epic. So anyway, we are into section 1 with Vincent Hermans leading the group. He qualified in 6th place, so he'll be going first on each of the sections. Into this gate number 3 now. Huge hook up that rock.
Now, just a quick one. Going in, he qualified 6th. Do you think it makes a difference if the rider has to start first or start last? What do you think is the importance of starting last or starting first?
I think you definitely have a bit of a distinct advantage. We saw that in the last round quite a lot as well, because Jack went before Gilles, and because Jack went before him, it was a very crucial point in the competition. Jack unfortunately had a 5, and it meant that Gilles knew that he could get through the section on 1, so it gives you quite a big advantage in that sense. But then also there's so much pressure on you. You know, if you watch the rider in front of you, or 2 or 3 riders in front of you, clean every section, and you're like, right, well, I have to clean it. There's no other option, you know. So it can be very, very difficult. But I think the best of, you know, most of the riders that ride in the final definitely want to get the highest qualifying place they can.
For sure, and it's also a pride thing and a motivation. You know, it psychs out the other riders.
Absolutely, so 0 points there for Vincent Hermans in section 1. That's a great start for Vince.
That's the Milwaukee Power Tools section, nothing but heavy duty. And the same spirit level, the biggest spirit level in the world. It's a real spirit level. No, not really real, but it's a really good section. And there's some big moves. There's a very big hook down the back there that he just nailed quite easily. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll see this first gap up as Gilles lines up for that, making it look easy. It is a fairly large gap. I mean, you know, for these guys riding at this level, it's a pretty good opener, I think, for these guys stepping into the finals. First section, first move. See Gilles riding very, very steady there, and he's had a fantastic year, hasn't he? I mean, what a comeback from last season.
He's currently leading the UCI rankings at the moment. So, you know, a win for him. You know, he doesn't actually win. I think all he needs to do is 5th place today to win the overall UCI. So
Really?
as long as he finishes in 5th, he's got it. But yeah, that doesn't mean, I mean, a fall could change all of that very quickly. So,
Absolutely.
but looking at this morning's race, you know, he was very solid the whole day, the whole semi. Every move he had on point. He had 1-5 that kind of threw him off. But even though he qualified in 5th, I felt he rode better than the 5th. He looked brilliant on the bike. And you can see that how controlled he is. But let's see if he can get up this hook. Is he going to go to the... Look at that. There was an option on that where you could either go left or right, to the slightly lower side, and he's opted to go right to the top.
Yeah,
look at that.
nice.
Just
like
confidence.
I said to you, we did walk around, Dylan and myself walked around all of the sections before we started, before they started the final, so that we know, you know, what kind of moves they're doing, what lines they're doing, where they're going, and how it's ridden, so we can give you guys a bit of a feedback on exactly what they're doing and how it works. Now, yeah, like we were saying, that line before was basically you have to approach it from one direction, but there was a kind of better option to go from the left-hand side across to the right-hand side. It's a slightly lower hook, a slightly easier move, but these guys just cruising up the left-hand side anyway, up over the top. And another clean there. So Vince and Gilles both on clean through section 1.
Now that does put some pressure down onto the rest of the riders. Guys going, as you say, there's I think when things go your way, going first is an advantage. When things don't go your way, going first is a disadvantage. So
absolutely, and sometimes, you know, like if you're the first rider to start in the final, it means that you may not have seen another line, and then later on everyone will see it, or you've seen a line, and then because you've done it, everyone else is going to do it. So, you know, so many swings and roundabouts. It really is.
All right, so on the course now, Nicolas Valle.
Nicolas Valle qualifying in 4th place, which is not too bad. As we know, Valle won one of the World Cups earlier this year, so he's got the ability there. This guy's absolute tank. He's about 20 years old now, isn't he?
Yeah. So in the semi-final this morning, it was only 10 points that he had for his 2 laps, which was a good ride. A youngster, Nicolas, born 1998, and yeah, second lap, he got a 0.0310, so good score, and he likes the Milwaukee Power Tool section, clearing it both laps this morning. And even though the course has been switched around and it's much harder, so that just back home, if you want to know how the section works and how they build this, the course changes. The obstacles are the same, but the course changes. They change direction. They move those little gates. So how the riders know where to go is they've got to follow those gates. And you'll look what Nicolas is about to go up. He's got to go over between those little yellow arrows and keep it up there. And that's called a gate. They've got to get through those gates, and the gates are numbered. So they've got to go through them as per the number, following it obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Milwaukee section's got 10 gates, if I'm not mistaken, 9.
10 gates, yeah. There's a lot of gates in that section. A lot of the French sections have about 6. So he's talking 4 more moves or gates generally.
And was that 0? Or was there 1 on time?
Pretty sure that was a clean. 0 points.
0 points. Good going there for the French rider. So also on the course, you've only got 2 minutes to finish each section. So you've got to keep going.
Yeah, so in previous years there was 2 minutes 30 seconds, and I think it was this year's the first year they've reintroduced that 2-minute rule. And then obviously there's a point every 10 seconds.
Yeah, every 10
after 2 minutes.
So as you go through the section, it's you get time, and you've got to really be on your game. You've got to make sure that you're moving quite quickly.
So here we go, Sergi Longueras, who he missed the first World Cup earlier in the year due to having an operation in the off-season on his knee. He's had a few problems with that. But to be honest, I think the break just did him good. He's actually just come back stronger than ever. It's unbelievable, his return. And I think he's only missed maybe 1 final since he's come back. So really solid riding from Sergi. Trains mainly in the UCI Trials Park in Catalonia, in north of Spain, just above Barcelona.
Well, definitely.
Oh yeah, just knocking that front wheel over.
So Spain bringing along some good riders. I must say, the sport of trials is absolutely massive. So many world champions and top riders coming out of Spain. But what's also good to see is how many youngsters and the youth that are coming out of that country, the development and support the riders get in the sport of trials in Spain is just amazing, and it shows because between the finals of the 20 and the 26, there's a whole lot of Spanish riders there.
There is indeed. So working his way up to this next big side up, it's kind of similar to the setup that we saw in Alta. Of course, this section was kind of over a pond in Alta earlier in the year. But this move is much smaller than the one that we saw in Alta. It's slightly different approach. And yeah, Sergi making that no dramas. I think you're looking at about 53 inches or so about 1 meter 30, 1 meter 35 maybe on that side up. So fair way up. And of course, it is absolutely scorching here today. And there we go, Sergi. Wouldn't expect anything different. 0 points out on that. So far, the first 4 riders through section 1 on 0 points.
That is very impressive. And who would have thought?
Indeed.
Because when I walked that section, I thought there's going to be quite a lot of 5s on here. I didn't think...
I don't know, I kind of thought it was only really marginally harder than the semi-finals. Whereas a lot of the other sections, as you'll see later on as they move on to the next 4, I mean, the moves are absolutely humongous. So here we go, we've got local hero, like you said before, Kenny Ballet, 4 times elite world champion, 6 times overall World Cup winner, and how many European titles? 4, 5?
A whole bunch of them, yeah.
A whole bunch. Yeah, definitely a bit of a veteran of the sport, isn't he?
35, 36, 30, I think 45, 50? No, we're joking. No, Kenny's definitely the oldest rider on course, but
yeah,
he just seems to get better and better.
Don't you think he looks great for 45 years old?
He will kill us. He will kill us. And but he came off some good training in Spain now, and feeling very positive on the bike. He took a bit of a break this year and didn't ride many of the World Cups. He only rode the Belgian ones, and maybe that was good because in the semis, he was definitely the second best rider out on course.
Yeah, he had an exceptional result in the semi-finals, and I know he takes a bit of time off before each of the World Cup events to go and just train purely, sort of proper trials, if you like real competitions, lines and techniques on his bike. So. Oh, they're saying they're giving him a 5 for Kenny. No.
What was that? Why would they have done that?
I think as he came back off with the front wheel, it swung over that left marker.
That's something you've got to be careful of. That marker, you see that marker is very high on the on the right-hand side, I think.
Yes.
So on the right, as he jumped back, the wheel goes over.
It was the left.
Was it the left?
As he came off, he sort of came left. The front wheel came around to the left. That's
he is going to be destroyed because I think he had that section. He was looking good.
He was looking really good, actually. And like seeing him ride earlier on, he was looking absolutely fantastic. He's put up some videos recently on social media, looking like he's on fire, training hard. And like you say, his result in the semi-final and the quarter-final was really, really good. So hopefully he's not too far off to bring it back. We'll have to wait and see. Anything could happen on the rest of the sections, especially the next one. Section 2 is an absolute monster.
Well, the thing about Section 2 is every single line, every single rock is so narrow, and it's like slippery. It's all off gravel, so you never quite can predict what the wheel's doing, what the bike's doing. And you fell prey to that in the semi this morning, where you just moved and the tape fell over because of the
basically they balanced one of the concrete things on a little point of a rock, and it just fell over, which is a 5 apparently. So it shouldn't have fallen over, but it just fell over. The whole ground is, but it is great in terms of a riding and a competition context. It's absolutely fantastic. Jack absolutely cruising through there.
So Jack wearing the rainbow stripes, which means he is the current world champion, and he does have the potential to actually win the World Cup overall. He has to win today, and Gilles will need to finish in 5th place. So it's 0 points for Jack Carthy there on section number 1. So it's 0 for all the riders except for Kenny, who unluckily crossed over that arrow, getting himself 5 points. He'll be so angry about that because that was...
Do you know what? Especially So this is, like we said, you know, like if you're the last rider out, there's a lot of pressure. You can see everyone else clean, and then boom, that's it. If you get a 5, it's kind of like, okay. Like he's now got to work hard. He's got to stay really consistent and, to be honest, hope that everybody else can drop a lot more points. So.
All right, so this was that one line we were speaking about. That thing, it's literally like a razor's edge. It is so sharp. Looking at it from the side, it just looks like a square rock. It's only as wide as the tire. So
yeah,
to try and stay on there is just have a look how Vincent's struggling.
1 point. He did well to hold that on 1 point. Very well to hold that on 1 point.
Catching it, actually landing on one leg, and you actually got to train that. Okay, so have a look at below, just to know how the scoring works. There's red dots on the bottom of the screen, and basically how it works is for every point the riders get, they'll get a red dot, and that's how you know you can get a maximum of 5 points per section. Once you've hit the 5 points, you are then required to leave the section. All right, so Vincent lining up for the next difficult line. Once again, look how narrow that is. It is absolutely so tight. Got to get through there. Ooh, just holding it. Literally fighting that bike through every single rock because of how narrow it is.
Yeah, this section really is about a lot of control and balance. And also, like you say, the floor is really slippery. It really adds quite a bit to get that nice and precise. Yeah, fighting his way up there, Vince.
So 1 point there.
But this, again, this is a section that you could just so easily go from riding perfectly to having 5 points.
Yeah.
You know, in an instant. Really good.
Well, I've got to give it to Vincent. He really fought hard there to hold it on that start, and really pulled that one off good to get through there with just the 1 point. This is a section where the 1s and 2s will catch up to you. All right, so Gilles coming in. Let's see how he handles this. Does he go? No, also drops down. It'll be interesting to see if anybody goes straight across from that rock. Or do you think everybody's going to drop down there?
I think everyone will drop down there. I think you'd be a bit of a maniac to just go straight across, to be honest. So, from the front view, that is literally a millimetre wide. Like, that was really well controlled there. Absolutely fantastic.
All right, so on the back wheel, the guy's controlling this. He's going to try and literally jump from there all the way across, onto the edge. He does, he holds it. That was another one of those where there's kind of two options on which way to go, and Gilles opting to take the long launch all the way across. He did it, kept it on there, and held it just long enough so he could clear the gate and then get the bike off the side. Oh, nicely done, holding it. Now what you'll see there, he actually pulled the bike over the rock, through the gate, and then off the side. So just making sure that the axle and the wheels pass through that yellow gate. And now the big hook.
Yeah, so this big hook, it's got a really nice little section on the left-hand side. You'll see that he's going to try and get his front wheel to. So it's a little bit sloped, and then you can literally, yeah, you just see that front tire just jam over to the left-hand side. Nicely done there. So 0 points, so clean so far after 2 sections for Gilles Castellier. Vincent on 1 point after the 2 sections. It's Nicolas Ballet up next. This guy's got some beastly front wheel moves. He absolutely flies the front wheel. It's just insane watching his training videos. So be interesting to see how he gets on, because there's a couple of massive moves later on in the competition.
I remember last year here, he did that one huge, which was, I think we were both kind of going like, what? Did he actually?
The pedal up the rock?
Yeah.
Oh my God, everybody's hooking it, and for some reason he thought it was a great idea to go straight to front wheel. I mean, that thing was like way over the height of my shoulder. It was absolutely huge. Onto a corner, somehow he pinned it to front and switched to back wheel on the last move in a bloody final. I mean, it's just, you know, it's mental.
Now, the interesting thing with Nicolas is he kind of like, the big moves is good, but
Yeah.
he's very fast, getting better and better at the technical stuff.
Yeah, I think he's worked
coming up.
very hard on it recently. Look at that.
I mean, just look at it.
Nice.
He was more controlled on the rock than the riders before him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, so I don't know if you can see it that well on the screen, but there's actually the takeoff is probably about 3 inches wide. It's a long piece of concrete on the floor. So to balance on that and get set up and get that compression up onto that thin rock in front of him is absolutely nuts. And that gap, like we were looking at earlier on, that next gap that he's just gone through there, gate number 4, I think it is, 5. The gap across is quite far. It's really quite far, and to be precise and make sure your wheels land in that hook position perfectly straight, you know, it's not easy in the slightest.
So what he just did there is by jumping through the gate, you land with your back wheel against the rock, and that breaks the speed, it stops the bike, and it helps you to be in control. If you land on the top, obviously you can't, by pulling the brakes. Oh, and he's pulled it, he's through, out.
Sick.
0 points for Nicolas Valli from France.
So after 2 sections, he's on 0 as well.
Yeah. Talk about having a good competition so far for the front guys.
Oh my God, yeah. It's really
Like I didn't expect this. If you saw the scores from the semi to now, oh man, these guys are riding incredibly well. Okay, so Sergi into the section. Let's see how he handles this. And up that razor's edge. Let's see if we can get a view. Hopefully we get a slightly different view this time. It doesn't look like it. Hard for the cameraman to get in there to see how narrow that actually is. Oh, nicely controlled. Can he hold it? Foot off. Yeah, hold it. Oh, jumping back. Let's see. He's got to give it another go. There we go. Onto the back. Ooh, nicely done, holding it. All right, so up to the next line here. And once again, keeping it on those very, very narrow rocks. Look at it. Look at that back wheel off the edge. Yes, and he's through. Nicely done.
Crazy, yeah. So we were actually chatting to Sergi when he was looking around the course earlier on, and he said about doing that gap. So yeah, he was looking at that gap earlier on, and he managed to make that transfer really well. It looked really sketchy to actually go for that from my point of view, but done incredibly.
Oh, 5 points.
Sergi. Such a shame.
And he was so good in that section.
He was looking really solid. That gap, you know, like he was saying about going across, and I thought, nah, you definitely go down and side off it. But yeah, I mean, such a shame. Such a shame.
Maybe he put too much effort into that previous one because he did it so well.
Yeah.
And kind of couldn't keep the concentration the whole way through. But yeah, good going. He was solid up to there. 5 points. So next up, local hero Kenny Beale, Red Bull rider and Adidas, and having done a lot of projects, the Slackline project, and known as one of the more technical riders. He loves this narrow, difficult stuff, and let's see how he can get through this section. Also dropping down and now having to get onto that. Just have a look, there we go, there's that much better view. You can see, literally look how narrow that is. And it's not square, it's
tiny.
round. Look how he's controlling it, holding that tire, the tire hooked over that edge, straight to back, very nicely done.
Very nicely done indeed. That's kind of Kenny's speciality, that kind of move.
And if you think maybe those tires look a bit soft when you think, geez, they're folding all around the obstacle, you can't really run it more. You need the grip on the obstacle, so as that tire kind of folds, you know, you're going to get way more grip and way more bounce to shoot across, and he's going to need that now. Let's get him across here. Control, he's going for the big move, just like Sergi. Yes, he does it, he holds it.
Yes.
Oh, smooth.
Very nice.
Going for the big gap. All right, and as you can see, even when they're not on the obstacles, just to move around the ground is difficult because of that incredibly, hopping back.
So I told you this was actually further than the other guys made it look. It is quite a long way, and it's really quite narrow. You've got to get your front tyre really quite far over, and there's a tiny little ledge to just try and wedge the front tyre over. Yeah, pulling his balance through there.
Very nicely done.
Awesome. And yet again, just want to point out we have a fantastic crowd here in Belgium, in Antwerp today, right in front of the town hall, right in the town centre. Massive crowd, well over 22 degrees, especially in this commentary box. It's baking. Oh, Kenny!
5 points. He is not. He was right at the end. Things are not going his way in this final. Second out of the semis and 2 5s in a row. He's going to be devastated by that.
I don't know.
But it is the first
there.
lap. It is the first lap.
There's only one lap.
Yeah, well, I was hoping. Yeah, he's only got 3 obstacles to come, and
so here we go. So Jack actually really needs to stay clean on this if he wants a good chance of winning today. So, yeah, Jack really needs to stay focused. Come on, Jack. Nice bit of control. I know he's been training like mad at home. Yeah, straight over the top, down to the floor.
And Jack is without a doubt the most powerful rider out of in the final. There is no rider more powerful than him. He can go bigger, he can pull harder, he can go further, but power doesn't sometimes always give you a win.
He just went straight to back wheel. Like a boss. All right. That, I'm afraid, is just how we do it in England. Okay, sorry, no. That's how Jack does it. And it has nothing to do with England. But amazing, amazing. Like, we've seen the other riders really struggle to kind of get the direction and push through it. And he's just bossed it straight to back wheel. I know that Jack's definitely focused on maintaining his world champion title. And he's really wanted to try and ride like he's going to ride at the World Championships and find his form a bit later in the year, because the World Championships, of course, being held in Chengdu in China the second week in November. We start around the 4th or 5th of November in China.
And will you be there?
Oh, my God, he didn't even use the little bit on the left-hand side. He just went straight to the top.
You know what Jack's doing here is he's using power. He's saying, you know what, I know it's technical, I'm going to trust my wheels and I'm just going to be strong and just go bigger than everybody else. And he showed in that section. That was dominating.
Yeah.
That really was.
Yeah, what a boss.
So are you going to be in China?
Yeah, well, I mean, that is the plan at the moment. I'm actually in Moscow for 2 weeks, just before China, doing something very, very different. And then after Moscow, I'll be going straight to China, and then the plan is to go to India. So I've got a nice little trip through the winter, to be honest.
Nicely done. Now, look at this move. This is called a hook. And they call it a hook because you've basically hooked the front wheel over the edge, and you basically hang off that front wheel, pull all your weight onto the handlebars, throw your weight over the top and try and pull the bike up. Now, it doesn't look easy, but it is definitely not easy, and it takes a lot of energy to do that.
Right, now this. Oh my God, what a monster. Right, what you guys at home can't see is that move. I walked around this morning and I thought the one move that I was like, okay, that I would find really hard is that gate. Gate number 2 on this section. It's just a huge, outright, massive pedal. Jack's just walking in front of it, and it's absolutely miles
when you look at
up.
the height, just so that you know, Jack is extremely tall. Yeah. And that is almost his shoulder height. So for the average person, it's above head height to get right to the top there. And yeah, and the problem is all the gaps in there. Really difficult.
Yeah, so it's a really technical piece of rock to actually land on. And Klaus there, the observer, standing right in the way of Vincent. Surprised Vincent hasn't actually hit him yet. Oh, yes, Vincent. He's riding very strong today. Very strong today.
Coming from maybe not the best semi, he's really pulling it out the bag and having an extremely good final.
Indeed, he is. Yeah, straight to front wheel. Out for another 0 for Vincent.
0-0. What is going on? This is insane.
Didn't he have a 1 on the second section?
Oh, he did. He did. Yes,
yeah.
he did. And that was a good save. Okay, so Vincent in second place.
Well, no, actually, look. I've got a scoreboard here. That's how serious I'm taking this. We've got Gilles on 0, Nico on 0, and Jack on 0 still after 2 sections. So Vincent's actually in 4th place on just 1 point. and then Sergi with 5, and then Kenny with 10 points. But we still have 3 sections to go, so anything can happen. Let's see how Gilles gets on.
Gilles onto this huge...
Yeah, ramming the front tyre in. You can see the back tyre is actually underneath that overhanging lip. But
you could actually see how the whole bike kind of vibrated and flexed. That's how hard they hit that obstacle. And now you've got this big hook up to the delivery box. And that hook, probably about 186.
No, I think it's about 175. I know in France we actually had in the semi-finals I think it was 182 hook in the semi-final. Massive.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it on the first lap, not on the second. But absolutely massive. But this one's got a really thin, awkward run-up, which I think is going to, you know, add quite a bit to it. It's definitely a more awkward
and he's
run-up.
up. Nicely done. Okay, dropping down, keeping it on that second delivery box. Going to line up and then back onto the main log.
So I'll tell
Big
you
move
what.
onto the front wheel. Ooh, catching it nicely done. Nicely done.
It's kind of cool what they've done here with the sections, you know, like the delivery boxes on the back of the bikes, on the delivery bikes, and they've made these square boxes, these delivery boxes, the concrete slabs in the middle. Really nice. So it's very cool. Makes it great for the riders. It's very challenging. Big shout out to Deliveroo for sponsoring this competition as well.
Okay, 0 points.
Gilles still on 0. Oh my God, 3 sections in, and Gilles is still on 0. But we saw this happen in France recently, 0-0-0 by a few of the riders, and then the last 2 sections really changed things up. So
Nicolas.
Nicolas Ballet here, through that first gate, that big hook, back wheel right underneath it, but with his handlebar angle, it's just not a problem.
He runs his handlebars very far over the front, and the riders do that just to make it easier on these hooks. It makes it harder for the pull-ups, but he doesn't seem to have a problem with those moves.
Well, I think now that so much of the riding is all... oh man, he flew up that as well. So much of the riding is actually about like accelerating from a short run-up. So on a 26-inch bike, you're never going to bunny hop. You're always going to use that pedal-up technique of power on the pedals, short burst of power just straight up. As opposed to the 20s who just give it a little kick on the pedals and then just pull with the body. So I think it doesn't affect, the handlebar angle doesn't affect it too much. It just makes it super twitchy. I mean, if you've ever been on somebody's bike that's got upside down handlebars like that, it's super twitchy. It's really strange. My handlebars are nowhere near anything like that.
And he's got the big hook up onto the delivery box. And as Andre said earlier, you've got to kick off a very narrow little log. So it's not just... nicely done, keeping it on the back wheel. But to kick off, you got to run in that's only about 10 centimeters wide.
Yeah, pinning it.
Pinning it straight to switching front to back. And
very nice.
He's got now the final gate. Got to jump up, get it on the front wheel. I don't think this will be a problem for Nicolas. He is good at it. Yeah, he pulls it out. And 0 points. Oh, what a ride from
at
Nicolas.
The moment, 3 riders through section 3. We got Gilles and Nico both on 0. I am a little bit surprised. I thought this was a fairly big move competition, and these boys making it look like a walk in the park so far, to be totally honest. But of course, as we all know, it really isn't. It is not an easy sport, and these guys train so hard.
Now look at Sergi's body position. Look how kind of low he is on the bike. He's going to throw his body all the way through that handlebar and literally yank the bike onto the top, as you saw it. A lot of the riders actually having a small amount of padding on the stem, and it's for moves like that where they got to throw themselves through. Yeah, nice, catching it, pulling it straight on. Same move. Oh, nicely across that gap. That's over 2 meters, by the way, that to get across onto that delivery box. So if you want to know how they do it back home, just look how the body moves on the bike. Moving the body all over the place is critical. The more you can move your body, the higher you can go. And these guys super loose on the bike, very flexible. And here he goes for the big hook up to the top of delivery. Oh, nice hook there. Straight to the top, not fighting it. Okay, now the big jump. Still 0 points. He's got 20 seconds left to get out of the section.
On the final move, you can see how far that gap is from that side view. Yes, just keeping his rear axle in through the markers.
Out, 9 seconds to go, and 0 points. I do not think that the course builders here thought it would the scoreboard would look like this. These riders
I'll be honest, mate, neither did I.
It's insane.
Neither did I.
I can't believe it. It's this is pushing the boundaries of the sport. It is really a challenging course, and the guys are cleaning it.
Where do we go from here? How do you make it hard enough for these boys? So next up, Kenny Ballet. He needs to really pull something out of the bag here. He's 10 points behind the top 3. So he really needs to pull something special out of the bag. Come on, Kenny, we want to see you on the podium.
So, in that hook position, look at that chest all the way through the bike. Yes, nicely done. All right, so now the big lunge up onto that log. Super high up there.
Yes.
Yeah, nicely done.
So Kenny riding on my bike. Those are his sponsors here in Belgium.
So
and,
that's it's a new bike brand that's launching.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
And,
Another bike brand. But yeah, it's a good point to mention sponsors and stuff. It's great to see so many sponsors here for the Antwerp leg of the World Cup. VW Commercial Vehicles, Milwaukee, Deliveroo, to name just a few. And of course, without these guys, this event would never happen. And without the hard work of the Ballet family making
big
this
lunge up onto the
sections happen. Yeah, look at that, cruising through it.
I think Kenny's got his groove back on, what looks like.
He's riding well. Stick this Kenny now.
27 seconds left to go, so he's moving nice and fast, got lots of time. Time's not an issue. Just the final onto the front here. Pinning that nicely and out. 0 points in the delivery section.
Yes,
he'll be very happy with that and getting his mojo back.
Let's see how Jack gets on now. Of course, 2 other riders on 0 points, so it is incredibly close. And like we said, he's now under a load of pressure. You know, if he'd had a few people 5 in front of him, he'd sort of be able to settle down and know what he's doing. But as it is, he's got to keep riding really well and at his best. He's hoping he gets a clean on this section.
He is looking very confident though on the bike. He's not, doesn't, oh straight to back wheel.
Bit of a joke, wasn't it? Not a problem at all.
Oh, and controlling it. Now, Jack did something there which is something that you would see in a rider much older than him. He landed very softly with the back wheel. Because you've got to land on that sharp edge, there's a risk of a puncture.
Absolutely.
And he knew he doesn't want one, so landing it nice and smooth, keeping it on the front wheel just longer than what he needed to, but just making sure that he doesn't bang the back wheel against the log. Oh, up
easy
onto
work
the back.
for Jack there.
Nicely custom painted helmet in the rainbow stripes for the world champion. There he goes. He won't struggle with this. It's one of his easy moves. Look at that, keeping it on the front.
No dramas at all. Keeping his concentration well here. Still, of course, riding with the #1 plate as he is the current world champion. And
40 seconds left to go.
I'll tell you what, I think out in China at the World Championships, the Urban Cycling World Championships, we're going to see a big fight between these guys for the first spot.
Whoa, did you see that?
Front to back, Frenchy style, switch.
Lovely.
Yes!
For the #1 rider, Jack Carthy, another 0.
Big fat 0. So we've got 3 riders, Gilles, Nico and Jack, all on 0 points. Closely followed by Vincent on just 1, Sergi on 5 points, and Kenny bringing it up the rear with 10 points at the moment. So everybody moving over to the left-hand side of the arena now. Here in this fantastic square. I mean, how many years is it now? 5 years that we've been holding it in here in Antwerp.
Been a long time, yeah.
And big shout out to
right in
everyone
front of the town hall. And inside this town hall, they've actually got the very first Olympic flag, which was actually stolen when they had the Olympics here. And very many years later, they found the flag, returned it, and they got it on display here in the town hall. Beautiful. It's currently actually being restored. So you can see some construction work on the town hall, but inside there, absolutely amazing. The craftsmanship and everything inside is just crazy.
It is stunning inside that hall. But we should be talking about Vincent as he makes his way through.
On the Lotto section, Lotto, a new sponsor for this year.
Gate number 3.
And still 0 points through the section. And the Lotto balls, I don't know if you know this, Andre, but those are real Lotto balls. That's what they use in that machine.
Yeah, the machine's much bigger than
what it looks on TV.
Yeah, much bigger and heavier.
And the people that take the ball out of the of the machine,
giants.
They're giants, yeah.
I think they brought them in from Holland.
Yeah, definitely.
Vincent making short work of gate number 4 there, which we both thought was a really difficult move. It's a really high hook. It's a very, very steep slope, real powerful movement there. And this is interesting. I wondered whether people would stay on that number 1 ball, but they've actually, Vincent's opted for the drop to the floor and hook back up through gate number 6. And then this is a huge side up. I'm no expert, but I'd say about 54, 55 inches.
Oh, taking the dab.
Taking a 1.
1 point for Vincent there, going for the side up. That was important. He did that. He obviously took that dab. That was a safety move, knowing that he wants the 1. I know he didn't want to do it.
I don't know. I don't know, because he's going to know that Gilles, Nico, and Jack are all on 0. So if he wants to get on the podium, you know, he's going to have to keep it seriously low scores.
But if he felt that if he didn't do the dab, he would have gone over. So
yeah,
you know, rather than risk falling off, he rather just stopped it. But I mean, yeah.
But I think he knows as well that, you know, looking at the riders we've got to come in, I think Sergi, Nico, Gilles, Kenny, Jack, I mean, everybody's capable of doing that size side up. We saw in France they tried to put in a humongous side up, but I mean realistically it was just kind of out of reach, to be totally honest. Pretty mad to put that into a section with a tiny takeoff as well. These are absolutely fantastic. These little Lotto balls for the section. They really bring a bit of colour into the section as well.
And those sandstone blocks are also quite slippery because it's not a solid rock. So when your tire lands on it, it breaks loose. So you don't have as much grip as what you would think. So every time you land on that thing, so you've got to land really solid. And Gilles having a little bit of trouble lining up for this. Oh, going straight to back wheel.
Is it me or did he just go? He must have Frenchied that. I was looking on the screen, I missed it exactly, but I think he must have tapped the front on that. Surely he didn't go straight to back wheel. Surely.
It looked like it from our side. A little bit difficult seeing on the camera as we're watching on a screen, just like you guys at home. And but he did that very well, and that saved some time going through there so quickly. So he's got 23 seconds left in the section. Hooking that. Oh, time. Look at the time. He's going to have to move yet. 9 seconds
this
left.
Last big side up. That hesitation on gate number 3, that's really cost him a bit of time. Oh! We saw a stumble. How many points? 4 points! He's on a 4. Gilles took a 4. That's crazy. So maybe Vince was right to take it steady, take a 1. You know, maybe he did do it on purpose, like you say.
Having a look at that, I think Vincent knew that you don't want to do that little stumble. And I mean, Going from a clean run to 4, oh, that's
pretty mad. That's pretty mad. But then when the score's so low like this, suddenly it can get pretty exciting very fast.
yeah.
And talking about exciting, they have done very well again with the scorecards.
Oh yes, yeah. This the scoring ladies.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
so these are the Miss Belgium contestants.
Yeah, Miss Belgium contestants, or Miss Brussels, I think, or Miss Belgium. Yeah, but they're doing a fantastic job of making the sections look great.
Yep, absolutely. Of course.
So
you know,
Nicolas in the section now is having to.
I have a girlfriend, and obviously you're married, so
Yeah.
we're not passing personal opinion, just a general consensus.
Yes. And so Nicolas on the Jitsi varial. They putting together some nice kits, making the riders look all matchy, which is quite good. Ooh, front to back. How does he do that so easily? He makes it look like nothing. It's just, you don't understand how hard that is.
Yeah, and he carries a lot of forward momentum with him all the time. He's really front over the bike. I think himself and Jack, very long-legged, and I think when they power forwards to the front, it really shifts their body weight that much more to the front, and they can just pivot over the front so well, so fast. And yeah, like you were saying, there's so much new technology coming out in these bikes at the moment. I mean, you know, all across the board, from the Krukers to the Clean, you know, the Jitsi, it's all like really new technology. Carbon 26-inch frames, you know, the bottom brackets and everything constantly changing and evolving. It's absolutely great.
And the bikes are so much more rigid, and they kind of almost design these bikes that even though it's you know, there's no suspension at all, there's only one single gear. The freewheel sits in the front, so it's not like a normal bike that when you stop pedaling, the chain stops. If this one, if you stop pedaling, the chain will carry on and will give you a lot more drive, so you get a lot more forward push out of every pedal stroke. Oh, Nicolas taking the one. 2 points through the section.
2 points through the section. Yep. I really want to see somebody clear that side up. I mean, I have no doubt there is one person that will clean that side up.
100%.
Yeah, definitely, Kenny. Definitely. We saw a video he put up last week. He's off a tiny little bubble and he did 1m46. And I'd say that's about 1m38 or 9.
So in
maybe
fact,
1m40.
in fact, the video you put up, I was filming that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because I wouldn't have believed it, but he actually did it. I was standing there, I was like, no ways, it's not possible. He did it super easy. So I think Kenny's got that one, and I know Jack could do that with his
eyes closed.
Eyes closed, yeah, definitely.
Or wrong side, or without a front wheel. So here we go. Sergi making fast work of gate number 1, getting that front wheel hooked over. Quite good for a left-footed rider there as well. Through gate 2, no dramas.
All right, here's the difficult one. Let's see what technique he uses here, because we've seen like something different from everybody. I mean, Gilles going for a Frenchie, like doing the tap front to back. Nicolas going proper front to back. Oh, him just going to 2 wheels.
A little wedge through. They've given him a point there. Apparently he touched his pedal. Obviously we're pretty far away, so I can't tell. But 1 point, that's still pretty good. Even if you go out this section on a 1.
Okay, this is
second place. Come on, Sergi. Come on, Sergi.
Oh, holding it. Come on. Oh, jumping back.
You know, I'd love to see Sergi on the podium. Oh, I bloody love it. I mean, he works so hard. I think it would be his first podium in the UCI World Cup, yeah. Here we go. Come on, Sergi.
Nice,
yes.
Up to the top there.
Switching through. Come on. Concentrate. Gone down to... Do you know what? It's really strange. I just assumed everybody would kind of go to that number 1, hold the balance, turn, gap to the hook or straight to back. But everybody seems to be opting for the drop down and then up that to be honest, quite big looking short run up hook.
So it's just funny when you know, you walk the course and what you see, and then what the riders or pilots actually decide to do. And he is struggling with that. Look at that. It is a difficult hook. I think you've got to keep your momentum to get to the top there. He's lost a little bit of momentum. Yeah. Holding it.
Whoa! 2 points, 2 points. Oh, he's equal events so far. 3 points, he's got one on time. Oh, come on, Sergi, get it done. Come on, Sergi. 5 points. Gutted.
Okay, so maximum points. Now, there was an interesting thing. If you saw the three riders before Sergi, they were all jumping from the other direction. And you think to yourself, why do they put two balls there? And that's because you've obviously got left and right-footed riders, left and right-handed, left and right-footed. And it needs to be even or fair for all the riders. And that's why you've got the option to go either left or right for that big side-up.
So, come on, Kenny.
Oh, moving very fast. Look at that.
Gapping straight through. So he's on 10. He's currently in 6th place. Well, at the moment, actually, as it stands right this second, he's equal with Sergi, both on 10 points.
It'll be interesting to see if he can get a clean on this one. Okay, here we go. What technique's he going to use? Is that one?
No, it wasn't 1 point. I didn't think that was 1 point from here, and I think they've discussed it between the two judges, and it's a 0. Yeah.
Still 0. Okay, so they've taken that one off again. It just looks like the pedal touched the rock, but it didn't.
So,
here we go. Big hook for the Belgian. Hold it, hold it. Yes, he's hooked it. Okay.
I don't know how he does that. I don't know how he manages to sort of look like he's not done it at all, and then somehow he just.
Okay. Also dropping down. I think turning on that #1 lotto ball is a lot harder than what it looks like after that hook. Yeah. A lot of energy goes into keeping you on, and here he goes for the big hook. There he goes, holding it. 33 seconds left. He's got to keep moving. There we go.
His back tire was close to the edge of that rock, wasn't it? Did you see that? That was just like, oh, God. Oh, he's going for a pedaling technique, a pedaling pop to back wheel and up.
He likes this move. He does like it, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I'd just go for the outright power, but that's just me. So here we go. Yes! Yeah! Is that why he was training? Here we go.
0 points.
For Kenny.
Bit of a rough start, but definitely coming back nice and strong.
Yep. Crowd going a little bit crazy to see the first rider that we've seen clean that move.
And gapping right out of the section. This is like, from here, I'm out of here. Doof, done.
So here we go. Can Jack get it? I've got a feeling he can, but will he? I don't know. Fingers crossed. On to ball number 42.
So Jack on that Krukos. One of the most advanced bikes on the circuit. Got a
straight through gate 2.
Got a very different kind of BB style, and they were the ones that developed the chain tensioner, the way the rear wheel, the chain is kept tight. It's new on that Krukos, and a couple of other brands actually using a similar system nowadays. Straight to back. I cannot believe he just did that.
That is, but you cannot tell on that screen at all how far that is.
It's absolutely huge.
Massive. I even said to him when we were walking around earlier, I was like, oh, do you think you're going to like pin the front or wedge it to like a hooky 2 wheels thing? No, I'm just going to go straight to back by the looks of it. That's mental.
No, he looked a bit like he didn't understand what you were saying, and that's why he was going...
He was confused because he was like, why wouldn't you just jump to back? Straight to back.
Jack,
tire.
definitely the only rider with...
Oh, and he's done it. He's done it. I told you about
on the one. Okay, and now...
You can hear the crowd going absolutely crazy. There's one person in particular shouting, going mental right behind the booth here.
Okay, so the big side up, he's... let's see if he can do this from static. Obviously, you saw the other riders starting stationary. They didn't do it. Come on, let's do this. The crowd going crazy here. They want to see this done. Balance point, I'm sure he can do it. Oh, it pulls it off.
Was there a rock there? I don't think anybody told Jack that was hard. Nobody told Jack that was a big side off.
We now have an official leader.
We now finally have an official leader with Vincent, boom, in 2nd place with 2 single individual points, and then Nico Ballet, of course, on 2 points, just 1 single 2, and then Gilles on 4. Sergi and Kenny both on 5 points, which, as it stands, if they were to argument's sake clean the next the next section, then Kenny would be ranked number 5 and Sergi in 6th place due to the semi-final results. So here we go, Vincent wasting no time into this section. Now this is a pretty crazy section to finish on, right?
Yeah. And this is kind of different because it's got this kicker, but the jump isn't just the difficult part.
Here he goes, here he goes. Look, check this out, pushing the front wheel down. Oh, he was close. He's holding it on one. Did he hold that on one point?
Yep. No, I don't think he did. I think he saved it. I don't think he...
He had a bash guard on the top, didn't he?
Nope.
Hit the old crank. No?
Nothing.
Bit of the old BMX days there, coming back for Vince.
5 points there for Vince. And that is very difficult because you've got to kind of bunny hop into it. It's not just about riding and hitting the jump. You've got to bunny hop, land perfectly on the downslope, try and fit in a pedal stroke. There's the pedal stroke, just not enough.
No, he didn't put a pedal stroke in.
Didn't he?
No, he's
what he did
one
wrong.
pedal stroking in, pushing the front down and using it as a pump track to pump out of it. Which, now Vince has actually raced BMX before.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so he's actually pretty good at that. But of course, this bike is about 5 meters longer than a BMX race bike. So what do you think, Gilles? Place bets now, people. Place bets now.
Oh, look at this. He's going a different technique starting
He's
on
not,
it.
please tell me he's not actually going to try this.
He's going to try and hook it. So
Is
he's
he
going to try.
actually going to try this? No.
Changed his mind. I think when he walked the course, he thought that would work, and kind of didn't really. Oh, he did it! Straight up.
1 point.
One point, but that was it. What a move.
What you can't see on your screen very well is how sharp and pointy that top log is, can you? I mean, really, it's actually quite a horrible overhang. You can't get underneath it. I mean, I don't know. It just sort of seems like you're just going to dive your front tyre into the top corner.
But the other problem with this section is the course builders have put in there, I think it's around 10 gates or something. It's a very, very long section. And nothing lines up. Everything's on logs, so you've got to try and get the bike the correct position and get through there and get up. I mean, look at this really difficult little hook onto that square edge. Kind of cut in, so you can't just hook it. Difficult,
yeah.
But he's got 38 seconds left.
What's he going to do? Is he going to go back wheel? Back wheel. Oh, no, you can't fall off the log. That is, it's actually really horrible pedaling on those things.
Yeah,
and I tell you what, the shot there, you can really see the beautiful buildings of Antwerp in the background as well.
Oh,
it does
lovely.
look absolutely stunning. Oh my God.
And he hooks it.
Straight up.
Nicely done.
So still on the 1 point, 10 seconds, counting down on the clock, on the back tyre. That is a big gap as well, not to be sniffed at. Takes the cameraman out on the way out, 1 point. So that leaves Gilles on a total of 5, Vincent on a total of 7 so far. 4 riders still to ride the last section. Can Jack Carthy keep it clean all the way through? Right, here we go.
Okay. Nicolas, Ballet. Oh.
Well, it looked like he was, I mean, from where we're sitting, looked like he was over that.
This is a problem. You don't have time on this section to jump back. You need to keep things going on nicely there.
How did he make that look so easy? That's
very high.
Even that low point is like the height of my head. I mean, you're talking like 1.80 meters just from the floor. And,
Okay, so as you see him there, just standing on it, he was just lining up, getting the feel of that kicker. Because these riders haven't ridden this section before. Well, they've ridden in this section, but they actually haven't ridden the lines. Everything's the other way around. Woo! Oh, 1 point. So, having to line up again. He's jumped back twice. Time is not on his side now. He's only got 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. So he's got to keep moving.
Go on, Nico. Here we go. Pumping the front wheel over.
Oh, another point there.
What's it on? 3 points. That's not great, but that's 5. So at the moment, that's still equal with Gilles. So he really needs to get a wriggle on through this section, get all the way to the end.
If he can get through here and get out, on the current points he's on, and not 5, it will be a very good result for Nicolas.
Yeah, big gap. Big. That is a long way across, like you said earlier. It is a long way, managing to keep clean so far.
Look how difficult it is to line up on these logs. It's so narrow, and you've got to get a lot of drive and pedal off just a log. You can't really, it's not like a flat surface where you can give it your all. You've got to pedal so straight. Oh, nicely hooking it.
How did he do that? He just made that look like child's play. He made that look... Oh! Oh, no way.
Look how upset he is. He knew he had it. And that just shows you the time. He knew he was under tough pressure for the time, and he was rushing for the end. And look at this. Oh!
I don't know what happened there. I think his brake stuck, or maybe he got a bit of arm pump, couldn't let go of the back wheel. He's just a little bit out with where he was lining up on the back tyre. Can't quite make out what happened there.
Okay, so the last time we were sitting next to each other, Sergi entertained us properly with a kicker. He tried to do a backflip off it. Well, he didn't try.
No, that was Paul Therese.
Oh, was that Paul Therese?
That was Paul
That
Therese,
wasn't
who's
Sergi,
currently chilling in Taiwan.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, I made a mistake there.
But obviously, Sergi and Paul train all the time together, so it's an easy mistake to make.
And
both training in Aureus, both from the same region, train hard together.
But this kicker is a difficult one, huh?
Mate, it's so weird. I mean, it's not even like a normal pump track sort of thing, because it doesn't just roll down and straight back up. You kind of got to do a pedal stroke, dive the front tyre in, push down, then it goes level, and then you go off the kicker. So it is a bit of an unusual one.
Oh, nice hook there by Sergi.
And of course,
making that look very easy.
These guys have never ridden this before. I mean, as far as I know, these guys, none of these guys have actually ridden this before. I don't know if Kenny might have ridden it. I think it might have been taken from...
No, it's not the same one.
Is it totally not modified?
Totally newly built, yeah. Was Andy's idea.
It's a very cool idea. Very cool idea.
They wanted to do the jump, and then Andy added in the little pump where you got a bunny hop in.
Yes.
And so newly built for this event.
Go on, Sergi. Crowd getting behind him here.
Oh. 5 points.
All right. So Sergi ends on 15 points. So far we have Gilles on 5, Vince on 7, Nico on 7, and Sergi on 15. You see, it all changed very quickly there, didn't it? I mean,
If Kenny can clean this, puts him in 4th place. No, 5th place, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Well, if 10, 2, 3.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
So Kenny onto the jump, and we know he likes this type of thing. He does have a nice fluid style, and he does do a lot of street riding, and let's see if that will pay off on this big kicker. Here he goes. Bunny up in. Yes, he does it first time.
What?
1 point.
Mad.
First time. He's definitely got his groove back on. Rusty start, but that was awesome. Shout out to DJ Mattis out on the decks here.
Putting together job, some
good tunes.
Cracking tunes, isn't he?
2 points there.
2 points. Now, he needs to get out of this. Secure a 5th place. Top 5 in the World Cup here. Great result for Kenny.
Oh no, he won't be happy with 5.
Mate, it doesn't matter, you know, I've won competitions on like 1 point and been like, oh, I can't believe it. I've cleaned comps and just been like, I was riding terribly and not happy. It's trials riders, mate, we're never happy.
I know Kenny wanted a podium here.
Of course he did, and he's capable of it as well.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
Well, more or less. I think I've jinxed him.
Yeah.
Come on, Kenny. Yes, nice. 20 seconds, get this last gap. Come on.
15 seconds left.
Woo, big gap.
And out.
Yes.
3 points, well done to Kenny Beale. He loves it, he loves the competition.
Loves
the
it.
crowd.
Loves it.
Yes, I'm from South Africa, right? We know, we know.
So look at that.
Look at
nice
that.
little bit of slow-mo.
Oh, nice. He did it really nicely, huh?
Yeah, really, really fluid. Does love his rampy style move. So
Right,
Jack already smashed through gate number 1, and he's looking at this kicker. Let's see what he makes of this. This will be, I'm not going to lie, I don't actually think it's out of his league at all. I'm pretty sure he can clean this. Come on, Jack.
Oh,
Straight to back wheel, yeah.
wheel.
So where he actually trains, like pretty much every day, Shipley Glen has actually got a lot of lines like this. And if you ride with him, he just basically floats from one thing to the next. So it's definitely not impossible for him.
Yeah.
Straight back tyre. Oh, you just got schooled, people.
Oh,
that's how
man,
it's done.
That is just too cool.
Yeah, that was very, very nice.
I'm still trying to figure out how he got the lift off that.
Mate, I have no idea. I don't know how he does any of it. But it is incredible. Great riding, Jack. Good to see you back on form. And of course, look at that. Look at that. Just wasting a bit of time.
He's got to be careful. The section is long, but he looks confident here.
I'll let you into a secret. Even if he 5'd it, he still wins because he's only got 1.5.
Yep.
So, well, it's nowhere near a secret. But yeah, he is definitely going to be the World Cup winner today.
I wasn't gonna spoil it for the audience, but thanks for that.
I just want to say as well, congratulations to Jack and his girlfriend Charlotte. Charlotte's expecting their first baby while he's actually in Chengdu in China. So
nice.
Good luck with that, guys.
Oh, jumping back.
Jumping back, 16 seconds. Oh, come on, Jack.
He's going to want to clean the whole event.
He is. If he cleans this, 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Did he do it?
He got 1 point at a time.
No.
And he's annoyed. Told you, never happy. Trials riders.
And you know the funny thing is, if he hadn't stayed on the front wheel and showed off a little bit, it would have been clean. But in the bigger scheme of things, it makes no difference.
So that is amazing. Amazing. Look at that. We've finally seen that kicker line is cleanable. And don't forget, guys, we've got the ladies final coming up and the 20-inch elite final coming up as well. And I'm pretty pumped for both. It's going to be fantastic to see how they get on.
It's going to be amazing. And this course, it's funny, the different courses are different for the different bikes. And this one, it's hard to say, but it seemed to me that it was a little bit harder for the 20-inch. The 26s seem to just float through it better, but you never know.
Yeah. Well, we've seen like quite a shift, really, haven't we, between 20 and 26 in terms of results. A couple of years ago, it was definitely the 26-inch riders were pretty much half in the scores of the 20s, and now it's really kind of flipped around. And actually, we've had a few competitions this year where the 26-inch riders have finished on much higher scores than the 20s.
Well,
I think it's
Alta earlier this year in Belgium was exactly that. The 20s were much lower. However, they did change the course ever so slightly in between, and they made it. They just took out some of those moves, which does make a big difference. But
absolutely, those little differences can make all the difference. You know, look at that, straight to back tyre. Mental.
Absolutely dominant Jack Carthy here today. And from Great Britain, and on his Krukers, just showing everybody else how it's done. Just 1 point for the entire final round. That is just insane. All right, and look at that. There it is. So Jack Carthy taking it. Just the 1 point on time. Didn't put his foot down once. Then Gilles Costelier in second place, 5 points. Nicolas Valli, 7 points. Vincent Hermans, 7 points. And Kenny Beale on 13. Unlucky start for him, but that is racing, and he will be angry about that. And then Sergi Longueras, 15. So well done to all the guys there. And we're about to head over to interview with the winner. So we're going to shoot down to Tom with Jack Carthy.
Congrats, Jack Carty. Incredible race here, and there must be some kind of magic between you and Antwerp, because it's the 5th consecutive victory here.
Yeah, it's crazy to win 5 years on the trot. I didn't take the overall this year though. I messed that up. So, but yeah, I'm really happy to take the win and finish the World Cup season, going into the World Championship. I started training harder now. 2 weeks ago, I started training harder, picking the pace for China in 6 weeks.
How do you look back on the World Cup season?
My World Cup season's been terrible, to be honest. It's a big mess for me. I need to go away and work. Hopefully some rules will change as well, but yeah, I need to improve as well and keep working. Yeah.
Thank you. Best of luck in China, Jack.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so in 20 minutes, we're going to start with the Elite Women Final. So please do tune back in, or stay tuned, for the Elite Women Final.
All right, so next up we have the ladies race, and that's the ladies final. The semi was yesterday, and a tough race. Quite different and unexpected the way things panned out. The course was a real difficult one, and it seemed like Nina really put in well, she was dominant, definitely very dominant. Nina, the current world champion, and she managed to take the semi. But the overall for the World Cup is still open in the ladies event as well. So Nina, she's currently leading, total of 760 points. And then we've got Manon Basseville from France. She's on 680 points. And because this event is the final of the season, you get double points for a win. So it's double points for the winner, or for everybody here as a result is double points. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see what happens in the final here, because the course is not easy. They've upped everything from yesterday. The heights are really high, and I think it's going to be difficult for the girls that don't go for it, because the steps are very high, and to have to lift the bikes up is going to be quite a challenge for the ladies event. So it's going to be a good one to watch. It's going to be a big battle, because I think it's one of the hardest ladies courses I've seen in a couple of years. And the list of riders in the ladies race here today, we've got Nina Reitenbach from Germany, Manon Basseville from France, we've got Debbie Struder from Switzerland, we've got Irene Kamenos from So just to finish up the ladies' list of riders, we have Nadine Camargue from Sweden and Malaise Joly from France. So if you look into the course now, as we're preparing for the ladies event, you can see the ladies now starting to come in, and very soon they'll be called up onto stage. In around about 6 or 7 minutes time, they're going to be called up onto stage, and they will then get ready and get on course. Now the course, not exactly the same as the men, obviously. It's going to be difficult. I know some of the ladies looking at this thinking to themselves, "Ooh, this is not easy," because they've really made the obstacles super attractive in terms of the way it looks and the way, you know, that the audience can see. A lot of the competitions, you know, they keep the obstacles quite low down, and I don't think it makes for a very exciting race. So here, having lifted up the obstacles, it definitely makes challenging. I mean, it's scary for the ladies, but yeah, as you can see here, rider number 6, that is Malais Joly from France. She's
nationalities. Maybe ask on the right on stage, please. Miley Joy from France. Miley Joy. May we invite you on stage, please. Miley, au podium, s'il te plaît. Joui. Elle va dire joui. Miley Joui. Pour la France, au podium, le 6e finaliste, c'est Maïlis Joui. Oui, pour la France. Et Maïlis, tu as bien compris, parce qu'hier, tu étais très content avec...
So we're on to the call-up and getting all the pilots, the riders on stage.
Maïlis. Then representing Switzerland, Davy Studer.
All right, so there it is. We're getting all the riders up on stage, and a good field today. Some strong riders. In fact, the top 6 ranked riders in the world are the 6 riders on stage.
Yep, and we've got some absolutely fantastic riders and a lot of new faces from last year.
It is the ladies' side of the sport really growing super quickly, and you know, it's a sport that I wish more ladies would take on. You know, it's kind of always had this stigma to it that it's for. I don't even want to start that, but to be quite honest, that's not where you start. You start on the small logs, you start on the small obstacles, and you know, it just teaches good bike handling, teaches good balance. It's a great workout, and you know, for the ladies out there watching, it's a good sport to get into. You know, the bikes are affordable, and yeah. What are your feelings on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great to see more girls get involved in the sport. But you know, I recently was at in Viborg in Denmark for the World Youth Games, and there was 29 females competing there, all under 15, which actually is really quite good, I think, to have so many young girls, because that's the young girls that are competing at that level. So if you think of all the other girls that are riding and not competing at that level, then I think that's quite a good future for the sport. I didn't actually realise there was that many, and there's some really talented riders like Vera Burrell. She's only 13 years old, and I genuinely think she could contend with these girls up here on the stage. I mean, she's absolutely blindingly good, and she's still got another 2 years before she's old enough to race in a World Cup. So that's going to be absolutely awesome to see when she comes through the rankings as well. But for the moment, these girls we see in front of us are absolutely fantastic. They did very well in the semi-finals. Unfortunately, Perrin from Belgium, who was the local favourite to get into the finals, she didn't quite make it through. Had a very bad ride from what I hear from her, but she was only 2 points away from qualifying for the finals as well.
Well, it was interesting. I watched her ride, and what impressed me is she went for everything. She didn't like play it safe. Maybe, you know, if anything, I can get a 5, you know, and I think that's where she made a mistake. I think she could have, I think she deserved to be in the final, but maybe she should have just, you know, played it a little more safe and try to just make sure she gets in.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe she should play it safe into the finals and then really try it if she wants to push herself. Definitely Nina's great at really just going for every move.
Yeah, I must say, Nina managed to really destroy the course yesterday. So it was very, very good, as you can see.
And we are starting with Miley's Greek in a few moments. And she is ready. She is already ready.
All right, so into section number 1, and that's the Milwaukee Power Tools, nothing but heavy duty. And straight in goes our 6th rider, Malaise Jolie, from France. She's currently ranked 6th in the world, riding on that carbon fiber frame. Nice bike there.
Yeah, so we were talking about the carbon bikes on the 26-inch bikes earlier on. So this is a Cayman, which I believe is a Swiss brand. Swiss or Italian, correct me if I'm... So next up we have Debbie Studer. Debbie Studer, so I think... So next up, Debbie.
So Debbie been on the circuit for a long time. She's been riding for years and years. And
just taking a little slip there. 2 points down over the first rock, but managing to hold the bike on the rock in this second gate.
And I must say, Debbie is very good at that, where she would rather, you know, she's good at playing it safe, reading the line, and making sure she gets through.
So 3 points so far through the section, as we're loudly getting shouted at in our ears. So 3 points for Debbie as she's through the first 2 gates, making her way through the Milwaukee section. Up on the back wheel.
Yeah, nicely done. Catching it on the front wheel there.
Yeah, good pin to front tyre there. Nice bit of accuracy. Riding the Azonis, so this is aluminium frame, not carbon like a lot of the others. Running carbon forks.
And she's, it's that single down tube, so just one piece. It actually gives you a lot of bounce, that bike. But I don't think it's as rigid as the regular frames.
No, possibly not. So this is
Oh,
kind
nice.
of
See that? Look at her hooking that front wheel over.
I think, did she get a point there?
No.
Still on 3.
Still on 3 points.
That's a
5.
definite 5.
Oh, coming off. So the rider has to stay within the course. You can't leave the course at all, as you saw Debbie doing there.
I'm pretty sure that's what I have permanently. I'll definitely be eating some ice cream later on to try and get rid of this headache. So here we are with Nadine from Sweden. So only really come onto the scene in the last year or so, and doing really well. Made a good few finals now.
Bit by bit, getting to that edge before she can drop off. Look at that.
Some more sort of legitimate big moves to contend with for the top 6 riders.
Okay, another move now. This is a great way to see that rock. You can see how it just doesn't lie in the right direction. It's kind of off camber to the side. Now it's interesting to know that Nadine and Irene Camos are only 30 points split in the overall standings. So
and it's double points.
Double points for the final event. And
it looks like she's going to go for this second move. So we've seen the other girls, the first 3 girls. Oh no, she's bottled it. Decided to try and play it safe.
So Irene riding the carbon fiber Monty bike. All the ladies opting to take a dab on that. I'm going to be interesting to see if Nadine goes.
Nice switch there by Irene from Spain. Just on 1 point so far for getting number 2. Beautiful blue skies here
the ladies, it's interesting. The ladies can choose to ride any wheel size they for moves, just like you saw there.
So next up we have Manon from France, qualifying in second place through for the semi-finals. Manon Basseville. The strange things have happened. Saw Kenny had 2 5s in the first two sections earlier on.
Yeah.
So that's really cool to see. Manon being the first rider we've seen go for that gate number 2, going straight up to back tyre. Nice pedaling technique. So she's really stepped her riding up a level, you know, in the last year or so. Very, very well out of France. She's very close for...
There for Manon.
Is she going to get out on 0? Is this going to be the first clean that we see?
Yep, I hope so.
I reckon it could be.
I mean, she's riding very, very well here. Oh, she hooks it. This is the final difficult section, and she pulls it to back. And is she out? What? So do you think we can, maybe we're going to see a win in both the men and the women on a Krukers?
I think we might do, yeah.
If Nina can pull it off today.
Is there a 20-inch Krukers rider in the final?
No. The disc, the rim brakes, which is a hydraulic brake, and it just still 0 points.
And like you were saying earlier, Dylan, the rocks are actually pretty slippery, so if you don't really drive your weight down through into the rock and be really precise with your tyres, they really slide. They can slide very easily.
Section. So she wants to make sure she can get through some sections without points, and opting to take that intentional dab.
Strategic dabs allowed, so you have to attempt every obstacle. You won't be allowed to put your foot down and pull your bike up over an obstacle. So it's going to be interesting to see how that results and how people get on with that, how the rule change actually really affects the competition and the results.
It's going to be, that's a difficult one to kind of police. What happens if you do a side up?
Mate, it's a minefield. You know, for example, if there's a side up, as long as you've left the floor, but once you clear an obstacle, you gain the points for that obstacle.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nicolas unfortunately taking a 5 very late in the section there.
She was almost there, but I think the scoreboard was ticking up, and the time was ticking down, so she had to get going, and oh, almost. So back to that scoring. Yeah, the new rules, the new scoring for next year, I think is going to be a massive improvement.
Yep.
I think it does promote the guys trying harder.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it may affect actually the girls more than any category.
I think so.
26-inch, I think now. I mean, we didn't see anybody.
No.
We didn't see anybody try to do a strategic dab. Everybody's kind of very much that mentality now, especially when you get to a final. It's kind of like, I think I can clean it. I want to prove to myself I can clean it,
yeah,
and I'm gonna clean it. And you try, and that's a solid result. You know, if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. But
I also got to give it to Wesley and them. The way they're building the courses, they're also a lot more alert to the guys trying to put their feet down and, you know, put the bike around the marker.
Literally, rule number 1 is put your foot down. You can go home, and it's worked really well. But in a World Cup, it's not quite as straightforward as that. So just a little bit about Debbie. Stayed at her place recently out in Switzerland, in Basel. It happened.
So Debbie on 2 points here in the section, and Debbie 3 points.
Crossing the centre line of the bike whilst your foot is down.
That was quite a ambitious. That was quite an ambitious.
It was a very ambitious
move, trying to climb over that rock with your foot down.
Flexibility playing in there.
All right, so Nadine into the section on her clean. Another new brand out on here, and this is Abel Mushtales, the current 20-inch world champ, who's developed the brand Clean Bikes, and just done a joint with Hebel Clothing. and some nice bikes.
Yeah, they've developed some very, very nice bikes, haven't they? The carbon one, of course, is absolutely fantastic. Got a few friends that have recently got this this new aluminium model, and they seem to be performing very well, and they are incredibly light. When you actually ride them, they're so rigid. It's really quite amazing. And if you think they're weighing in nearly as light as a you know, a top-end road bike, they might set you back up to 10 grand, and they definitely. You definitely couldn't drop off of a building on one of those bikes. Whereas these ones, you can do it over and over again before they break. So, yeah, really, really well-engineered, well-thought-out, well-designed bike. And becoming very popular as well.
Yeah, a lot of, especially on the 20-inch. Look at that, fighting. Falling off the back. No, wasn't going to happen. She's going to be frustrated because I think she knows she can do that. Nadine has come a long way. She's riding very, very well.
Incredibly well, yeah. I think in the next few years we'll just see her, hopefully, continue to get better and better.
And hopefully soon, soon she'll be on the podium.
Absolutely. So here we have Irene from Spain, starting section 2. Really cool rock section. Obviously, the organisers here in Antwerp are the same organisers as the first round of the World Cup in Alta in Belgium. So 1 point for Irene there on section 2 so far, as she works her way through to the last very tricky gate.
And then in the audience right here watching the event, a rider that didn't make the final but normally does on the 20-inch, but it is the guy.
The world record in Alta for some reason wasn't coming through as an official Guinness World Record. And in my event, I set the gap world record. Rick broke the side-up world record. And,
at 1:45.
And we also did the world's highest forward step-up, the hook-up world record, which was 179.5.
That's very, very high.
It is, yeah. That was Laszlo Hegedus from Hungary. So anyway, back to the course here. We have Manon Basseville.
She's really going to have to go fast here.
Placing the front tyres. Pretty small rocker back tyres on there as well.
Keeping good balance. That's clever. Keeping it on the back wheel. She knows that that gravel, if you're on 2 wheels, it slips very easily. She's keeping it on the back wheel, keeping it controlled. Okay, she's going quickly now. She's making very good time. Yes, pulls to the back. 19 seconds left.
She's out.
She's out with one. Wow, what a ride there.
Bit annoyed there by the looks of it.
I cannot believe how well she rode in the latter parts of that section.
Into section 2. Also having a few issues with this first rock.
That rock's very high and it's hard to get drive. So you've got to kind of accelerate, go uphill, but you've got no room because that bunting tape is kind of controlling that back. Can she hold it? Oh, fighting it as
close. Well. Come on, Nina.
Oh, 5.
We did not see that one coming.
The ladies' event definitely seems like it's more of a challenge to them than what went down in the men's. Scores a lot higher so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
3-5 so far. And the level... Debbie, oh, look at that, taking another dab. I must say, she is pretty good at that. Okay, let's see her across. She's got to get through those red arrows. You can see those arrows there. Look at that back wheel, quite a lot lower than the front. Hopping it to the back wheel. Going off. Okay, so just the 2. Is it just the 1 or the 2? No, 1 point so far. And into the second half of the section, she's...
into a city centre environment. I think a lot of a lot of the time it's easier to use square logs and railway sleepers and things, but the balance really isn't quite as hard as it is on the rounded logs like this. And as you can see by Debbie, on 3 points so far in this section.
That big center stump that was the...
a couple of 1,000 kilos.
Okay, Debbie almost out. Okay, out of the section, just the 2 points.
Four
Points. Sorry, okay. The light is not great on our screen this side, so I missed that, sorry. But yeah, so 4 points for her, saving the one. Every point counts though, and she'll be happy. That's a long section. She'll be happy that she got out. Look at that, pulling to back wheel. Ooh, tyre almost rolling off the rim there.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary switch, that is, up to back wheel on that. And weather here. But it's actually turned out really, really nice. Actually sitting in the commentary box at the moment with my top off as well, because it is that warm. I'm absolutely roasting. Makes it hard work for the riders in the heat, but also I'm pretty sure we'd all much rather be riding in the heat than the...
And then, look at this, still zero.
And as she gets older and more experienced, she'll be no doubt unleashing a lot of that power.
Getting the bike onto the back wheel. Look at that. There you can see how fine that gate is. You've got to get the bike up and through that angle, onto that angled log. Nicely done there. On the Deliveroo section. And just so that you know, those Deliveroo boxes you see on the section, those are the actual bags they use when they deliver your food.
Yeah, and they are heavy.
Yep.
And next up, we have Irene from Spain coming out. Let's see how she can cope with this section. Proved to be pretty difficult. Debbie Struder and Melis finding it pretty tricky. Start riding, you basically learn the 4 basic moves of trials, which is obviously the track stand, endo, kind of like a wheelie, we call it. It takes years and years of practice. It's so difficult.
As a hold to hang on things, and the back wheel you use is like a big cushion. The front wheel almost does more work when you've got to try and get up these big obstacles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the obviously the rear wheel is the one with the drive, and the front wheel doesn't have any drive, so you do use it as a lever. And more and more over the last sort of like 5 to 10 years, we've just seen these huge moves being able to be made with the use of the front tyre.
3 points. This is on time. She's running out of time. Out of the section, 3 points.
3 points for Irene from Spain. Not a bad score at all. That put
on the course right now, and she's really riding well today.
She's riding really well. It's really nice to see. I think last year she maybe gained a little, lacked a little bit of self-confidence, and she's really come forward in the last year with that. And we've seen her consistently in the finals and on the podium.
No, she's riding so well. Look at that, getting the tyre on that log, right on the edge and controlling it very nicely done.
Yes, still clean.
So, Manon riding the rim brake on the front, so not opting for the disc brake. Then that's why you can actually hear that brake when she comes off. You hear like a screeching sound, and that's the brakes on the bike. The 20.
Brian Shane. I just want to say a little shout out to Ricardo Quiroga, who says, "This is an amazing sport. I love it. Thank you."
Okay, nicely done. Oh, nice. Making sure that that back axle or the back wheel didn't cross over that red arrow. She's got to be within the red arrows.
You see, now we saw Nina unfortunately have a 5 in section 2, and if she does well in this section, she could...
But she's looking good. She is still 0, and she's got 42 seconds left. So, yeah.
This awkward switch up to back wheel across.
Nicely done, keeping it controlled. She's right.
14-15.
And I do not think that Nadine thought she would be at this point in time 1 point off the opportunity to win her first ever World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 1 point off. She needs to try and stay consistent. Of course, there is still 2 sections left. So still a lot to go. A lot to go. That's the thing with trials. You can be riding as well as you like. You make one little mistake on the last bit of the section, as I did earlier on, and that's it. You're out. So
maybe it scores me a point, but I'm not going to win the race.
Yeah.
And it's going to penalise me going into China, where the world champs is.
You need to get used to taking those risks and giving yourself that confidence as well, don't you? So, got a few questions coming in on Facebook Live here. Got one from Joe Mayer saying, Andre, when are you going to get a haircut? Well, Joe, my friend, unfortunately, you're about 2 weeks too late. I've actually had a haircut. Can you believe it? Oh, Melis, unfortunately, taking a 5 there on section 4. Bit of a shame, but the good news is... And Jason, I'm sorry, the signal seems to be a little bit choppy. I, unfortunately... I don't have anything to do with that. It might just be a dodgy Wi-Fi connection. It could be something to do with the signal getting jammed here. We'll try and mention it to the guys, and hopefully we get that sorted, especially for the 20-inch elite category later on.
And from the scoreboard, if she wants to get onto the podium, she can't afford to be taking these dabs.
Unfortunately, didn't have the best race. Actually, I think he's had the worst race in the last 10 years, worst result-wise anyway. But his riding is absolutely exceptional, and he's 100% focused now on China and bringing it back, getting back on that podium. And I think China's the place that he could do it as well.
So Rick, really, when I saw him this morning on the bike, I just thought it doesn't even look like him. He had no power, no acceleration, well, on his first lap. And I know he came back on the second, but just too late. And it just shows you the sport so physical. You know, the riders.
Yeah, definitely think in the last good few years, people have realised that approaching the sport more in an athlete sense as opposed to maybe just a casual bike riding sense has really changed the game and changed everything. It's become a lot more serious, a lot more power-based and agility-based.
And I mean, you're looking at a course today, which is one of the most challenging courses we've seen all year. And to see scores as low as that, I think China is going to be incredible.
They're going to have their work cut out trying to make it hard enough.
Yeah.
I really think they're going to have their work cut out.
I mean, how do you? It's hard. Can you imagine having to build something that's so? It's not easy to build it, but the riders can't get over it. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't. They really do put together just something incredible every time there's an event here in Belgium.
Yes.
And look at that.
What's that?
A big drive forward in taking the win. Oh, Irene, 5 points there in the section, missing that gate or going over the tape. Section. So Manon has to come through, Manon from France, and she's really going to have to keep it tidy to get through. And so she has now slipped down into third place. So Manon Basseville. 2 points so far, so that's putting her in third place currently, but she hasn't yet finished the section. And obviously Nadine having just gone through there. So Nadine, as it lies now, currently second place.
I believe she is, yeah, just 7 points, so it's very close. Manon on 8. Oh, yeah. Come on, Manon.
But she's also seen... She has also seen Nadine do it, so she knows it is possible. This is quite a big jump. Oh, hooking it nicely onto that sharp edge, onto the back wheel, over the lotto ball and out. The ladies holding the scorecards, doing a great job down there. All right. Oh, look at that. Clean for Nina Regenbach.
Flew through that there. So genuine question from Joe Mayer, if he ever is possibly also capable of asking a serious question. India for me will be a climbing trip after China, after an insanely busy year. So I'm going out to happy with a friend of mine to climb for a few weeks and hit up some interesting, crazy destinations.
Okay, so, jumping back there. So Nina in the section now. 1 minute, 10 seconds. She's got enough time to do this, but she, number 25, Lotto ball. You can see the balls just next to her and above her. Those were used in the men's event. Ooh, nice. On the back wheel, holding it there, keeping it controlled. All right, now the big kick up. As you can see, that rock in front of her. Look at the angle of the bike. Very upright on the front. Come on, can she do it onto the thin edge? She's going to have to give a big kick. Yes! Nicely done. 0 points. That's it.
Very nice.
Good job, Nina.
So she keeps her lead on just 5 points going into the last section. So she's 4 points clean. No, sorry, 2 points clean of the opposition.
Yes.
Nadine.
So Nadine in second place, currently 2 points ahead of Manon.
Second place, Manon Beale.
Deal with, and we're going to get to see the 20-inch category having to hit that same jump. So, Malise Jolie, how big do, when they have those big group rides in France, how big do they get? How many people do they attract?
I haven't been to one for quite a while, but I know that the competition scene out there is absolutely huge. I mean, I rode one of the Rhone-Alps championships a while back, and there's 230 riders.
That's huge.
You know, and I'll be most of them, and there's probably only about 5 of us that were over 16, only just over 16. But yeah, everyone else was sort of under 16. It was crazy. There's so many young guns in the sport, and we're seeing that now.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing these riders, these younger riders, come up and pushing us out the way. Jack Carthy, you know, Nicolas Ballet.
Well, I think we
pushing us
saw
old boys out the way.
We saw something. The most amazing thing is in the.
You know, I'm shocked it's taken him this long to make a semi-finals. I don't know what he's been waiting for. And why he didn't make the finals, I don't know. I feel like he just didn't try hard enough.
Charlie's sitting right behind here, and I think he can hear actually what we're saying. And no, the youngster...
He's smiling, but I don't think he knows what I'm saying about him. He has no idea.
Wanna...
Yeah,
She's
so Debbie so far is
finish on a good note. She's going to want to come out positive for the and have a positive feeling taking into the World Champs, and a clean on this would really do that. Huh?
It would indeed. So at the moment she's on 17 points after 4 sections. Doing well. Just a little shout out to
who made it all possible to have a live stream at events like this. I think it's. It adds so much to the event, so much for the riders, and the amount of work that goes into a live stream is incredible. I mean, I flew halfway across the world just to come. There we go, Debbie coming out. Nicely done, finishing strong. All right, now going on to Nadine, and this is the big one. Nadine, Nina, or Manon for the win here. It's still an open competition. It hasn't been decided. Nadine taking 1 point. Riding a clever race here. Now, this is how you apply pressure. She's going to have to ride a very clever section because she does have that lead. So, here we go, lining up. She's got to get through those red arrows on her right. As you can see, look at the angle. Okay, nicely on the log. She's going to get the bike onto the back wheel. Oh, that's it. Now she had to line up again. And the difficult thing, or not the difficult, but the challenging thing is that she's going to start looking at time issues. She's only got 40 seconds left, and she's got a whole bunch of gates still to get through. She's just got to keep her cool, keep it moving. There we go, back wheel, holding it there. Nice gap across. So loading those pedals, loading the power. Yeah. 8 points it is. Okay, so now
that is an absolutely outstanding ride there from Nadine. Well done, Nadine. That is amazing. Great to see you riding that well. still in the mix to overtake Debbie and gain many positions and points, championship points as possible.
Irene from Spain, and another country that has produced some of the best trials riders the world has ever seen. So many world championships won, and it's not just bicycle, moto trials. In fact, anything on two wheels, Spain seems to produce some of the best. All right, Jared is deep in the section. Oh, look at that. She's got...
It's got to be. It's always good weather. You can always ride bikes. The thing is, the killer on a two-wheeled vehicle is rain, isn't it? Water is your enemy. So I'm sure it's because they've got good weather. You can just ride any time you want and train any time you want. And also just the fact that the local people put in so much effort. Trials Park's springing up all over Spain. It's really great.
0 points there. What a ride. That was fantastic by Irene Caminos from Spain. Clean run. She'll be so happy with that.
As Manon Basseville starts this section.
So she can no longer take second place.
She can't. She's riding for third place here. And I'll tell you what, if she were to 5 this section, she'd be on the same points as Irene.
Oh yes. However, if she zeros the section and Nina 5s,
well, we'd have Nadine in first place.
yeah, we would. So it's
and
still
Nina in
open.
second.
So the top 3 is still open.
Top 3 is completely open.
Yeah.
This is awesome. All right, here we go. So, do you know what? Nina's still under a load of pressure because she had that 5 in section 2. She's now left herself under a lot of pressure to finish on 0 on this.
Yeah. Well, if she finishes on 4.
The Joe Mayer that's tuned in live on Facebook. Yes, yes, you should be jealous.
So I was speaking to Nina yesterday and I said, what do you think of the course? And she said she doesn't think it suits her. Well, you could have fooled me. You've ridden a... Okay, so 2 more gates left. Anything can happen. Hence the sport of trials being so fantastic is the final gate. Anything can happen. She's got to get up. There you can see it. She is 1 gate away from winning the final World Cup here in Antwerp and taking the overall.
Oh my God, I would hate to be at this moment having to ride along a balance beam. She's pedalled straight
And she's done it. She's the winner Cup world title. And nicely done there for her in the rainbow colors. And that's going to help her with a lot of confidence going into China.
Indeed, and I'll just do a little mention that we are going to be starting the Elite 20-inch final. We're going to have a spectacular final with the likes of Benito Ross and Bel Mastelis in the final. It's going to go crazy. Be here, check it out.
We are starting the big final for the 20-inch within half an hour. Within a half an hour, we are starting with the Man Elite 20-inch with Lucien Leijten, Dominic Oswald, Alejandro Montalvo, Thomas Peghacker, Benito Ross, and Abel Gutierrez. Starting within half an hour.
All right, so there is your result for the ladies event. And as you can see, this beautiful...
Last section I had a lot of pressure because I knew that I have to clean it, or at least 2 points. But yeah, I don't have a problem with pressure, so I just rode and had fun, and yes.
Can you tell us in German how your day here in Antwerp went?
Ja, der Tag hier in Antwerpen war sehr schön. Mir gefällt der Wettkampf immer sehr gut in der Stadt. Und ja, mein Fahrer war auch sehr gut. Also, obwohl ich eine blöde 5 gemacht habe, war der Rest wirklich sehr in Ordnung. Und ich habe ein paar gute Sachen gemacht, mit denen ich wirklich sehr zufrieden bin.
Und Sie haben auch den Titel genommen.
Genau, ja, den Weltcup, also die Weltcup-Endwertung habe ich jetzt auch gewonnen. Darüber bin ich natürlich auch sehr glücklich.
Dankeschön.
All right, and looking at the absolutely fantastic ride there from Nadine and Manon. The ladies putting together such an amazing competition. Fantastic to watch. The level was just out of this world. And as you can see there, Nadine just coping with the pressure so well. As she said in her interview, silly 5. But it didn't matter in the end, still taking the win. But big congratulations to Nadine. What a ride from her, 2nd place here today. She is going to be so happy with that. And really, she deserves it, riding so stylishly and so well.
Immer da und für den Sport und begleitest mich in meinen Danke. Bis nächstes Jahr in Berlin.
So much love and happiness happening here at the UCI Trials World Cup here, Antwerp, Belgium. And it's just a taste of what's to come in China at the end of the year. Welcome in, the one, the only, Wesley Beale.
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you all. Yeah, they asked me to talk a little bit about the course. It's not easy to build for sure, because on a Monday, the week before, everything is, because in the other competitions it's all big gaps and side hops, and it's very, very thin. You can't really tell from here, but as a rider, if you put your front wheel on top and then you need to put your back wheel on top, it's very skinny. It's not like it's 1 meter square, it's different. And then what I try to do is make some big gaps from the side so that you have to go on it. And it's not easy. It looks easy, but we have the best riders of the world, of course. But yeah, they've done well. Surprisingly, they've done better than I expected.
No, definitely. And I mean, the Milwaukee section, almost everybody clearing it. Obviously, Kenny, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he went over the marker. I mean,
yeah, he actually forgot the marker. He went to the side of the marker, went from 5 to 7, forgot the 6.
Building or ruins. It really looks cool, but from a technical point of view, the guys were really struggling. Everybody said that's one of the harder sections.
Yeah.
What was your idea there?
Well, same story, very technical, and those things are lines that you can do in training. But as soon as plus then you don't have a lot of space or place to make sure for your balance, so it's very hard. And as a rider, this looks not the hardest section, but I'm sure it is.
Line for the final was so thin.
Yeah.
You know, the guys at home, you guys at home couldn't really see it because of the the angle that you were looking at it. It really is super thin, and that now
you talk about like 4 centimeters. It needs to be just right. The same story. We started with the big ones to put on top, and then because I'm also a rider, I can see the different lines that are possible. And from there on, we start to the semifinals and then the woman and check out what's possible. And the big concrete from Deliveroo, it's on top, so it's a big static hook. It's a big hook, but like you've seen in the finals, they went on it like nothing. It was so surprised. The level is so high. This is kind of technique, more gaps and big gaps actually, but surprisingly they've done very well.
All right, so going on to section number 4, and this is
not at all, because the rocks, they are pretty square, and you see like you have edges where you can hook your front wheel or back wheel, but even if you're on a good spot, you slip because there's a lot of dust, and it's like loose sand. It's solid, but then it gets into sand and you slip off. So yeah, I've seen some riders struggling in the final, and that's what I expected. And then at the end is a big side up of 1.39 meters, so it's pretty big. And for the rest, it's like the lottery balls. You can see they are painted, so you are in the middle or you slip off. So it's a lot of pressure again for the riders.
And then the final section here was section number 5, and for the final, that was my favorite section. That's the VW, the Volkswagen commercial vehicles section, and I loved it because of that kicker.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
That's a good idea of our crew member Andy. We wanted to make a North Shore kind of line, but in Alter we could put the big trees in the ground, so it's solid. But here, of course, we cannot do because it's solid ground. And then we tried to make a kicker like that, but the thing is, if it's just a kicker, you go fast and you do it. But now it's just a pedal up, pump, and then you have to push in the slope of the ramp and then go to the kicker. So with the riders don't really know, okay, how fast do I need to go? Will I need to pedal in the middle or not? How is the kicker? How does it feel? And then, of course, you look in front and then you have a big bunny hop. And then after that, there's pretty big gaps as well. And very technical. It's like on it or off. So no room for error, not at all. No. And then at the end, you could see there was a big pedal up, and it's very thin. You ride on the lock is like 30 centimeters wide. So
well, the thing is, it's not. You say. You say that
Thanks.
All right, and we're about to get going with the 20-inch final, and the best of the best on the 20 inches coming into the arena now. That guy's going to be cool.
Competitors in the big final of the UCI Trials World Cup in Antwerp, representing Switzerland, Lucien Leiter. Bienvenue, Lucien. Bienvenue. And then, representing Germany, Dominique Oswald. Our third rider, representing Spain, Alejandro Montalvo. Then representing Austria. So we have over here the 6 riders who are competing each other in the big final of the World Cup.
All right, and I think we're back, Andre.
We are indeed. Sorry, my voice is really loud there. Yeah, we are indeed, and it's the 20-inch elite. That is pretty unusual. So let's place bets now. Who are you betting on?
Abel.
No, that's boring.
I have to. I know he's going to win.
Right,
No,
do you know,
he's,
I'm gonna throw a wild card in there. I'm gonna say Thomas.
Yeah, actually watching Thomas and Liv and go. What went down there?
It was really good. Just like that is trials, and that's what happens. So I want him to redeem himself today and like definitely put a stamp down and try.
Dominic Oswald and
Lucien Leiter.
That's it.
1 minute before the start. Different section.
10 years old.
No, we're joking. He's not 10. I think he's 17 now.
He looks 10.
Yeah, he looks 10, but he's 17 from Spain.
He looks 8.
And he just.
Funny Rolls will be 18. Hopefully he'll have some kind of muscle, and then he's going to be good, man.
And that's the start. So guys, heading over to the Milwaukee Power Tools, nothing but heavy duty. And the one thing I can say about all these youngsters coming through in the 20-inch category is that Abel Mushtales has to carry on training, because these guys are going to start giving him some serious challenges in the upcoming years. And I'm not talking a couple of, I'm talking like next year, the likes of Alejandro and...
Yeah, absolutely. There is quite a lot of riders that are coming up. I mean, we've seen Dominic Oswald, he's won a World Cup, and he is an absolute powerhouse. We've got, I mean, Thomas Petcock, who's obviously like quite a lot younger than a... Was it?
It was so close, and we'll actually get those results brought up to us in a second, and we can tell you about it.
Let's have a look. I think we've got it here, haven't we? Sorry, guys, we're just checking through the results here.
We are ready. Hopefully, Lucien Leiter is also ready.
Yeah, so he was in 7th place.
7th place, 10 points. He had that second 5 in the second lap. He didn't need those. So, you know, zeros all through just 2 sections. I think he needs another year to just refine the technical stuff, and then he's just going to be a beast. All right, so...
We have Lucien Leiter leading the group here for the 20-inch elite final. So straight through that first gap up to the big.
Now onto that spirit level, the Milwaukee spirit level. It is a real spirit level, guys.
It is a real spirit level.
Yep,
yeah,
it is
officially the biggest one in the world. Officially, according to Dylan's World. Yeah. Hey, he's gone straight up that hook as well. That's a long way up. You can't appreciate it on that screen. Into the corner of the finals. Dominic Oswald finishing on 17 points. So the semi-finals were very, very close. BEL clearly out in front on 6. Benito Ross on 11. And then Thomas on 16. Alejandro Montalvo on 16. Dominic on 17. And Lucien on 18 in the semi-finals. So Dominic into the start of
nicely done
section
there.
1.
You see, it's a lot of it is about control. As you can see, hitting that wheel, getting both wheels neatly on. Okay, so turning the bike, jumping off that big box. Now he's got to line up for this huge hook down the back straight there. And get as much drive as he can, bash that bike into it, try and get the front wheel as high as you can, and then leverage off that. As you can see there, hooks, almost making it.
See, it's interesting here. I was wondering whether the 20s would use the bunny up technique or the pedal up technique. 26-inch always going to use the way up to go to front. I'm just joking. He is quite clearly dinged his front wheel into the top of that. Come on. Come on, Dominic.
Here we go.
Running out of
Big
time.
effort.
He's under pressure.
Yes, he does it. Can he hold it?
Nice.
Oh! Nicely done there. All right, so onto the spirit level, onto the Milwaukee red stick.
Very nice down.
He can do this, but he's really got to move, because from here you can keep the bike on the back wheel. It is to his good side, so, oh, he does it. Here he goes. Is he going to get out in time? I think it's one on time.
Is that one?
I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see if a 17-year-old can take it on to the big guys. Oh, holding it on that back wheel. Okay, now this big gap across onto the red stick. Oh, smooth. He really does have an amazingly smooth style, Leandro does.
Mate, it's crazy. It's crazy. He just sort of just floats across stuff. So this is interesting. Well, he's going for a slightly different way around there, isn't he? Has he worked out some very clever way of getting through these markers?
He realized he doesn't have the power for that big hook, and then went for what he thought was a clever move, but unfortunately just too fine, and going over there. He went over the tape. Yep, you can see it as he came down. All right, so here's our man. Thomas, disc front and back, not running the rim brake on the front like most of the other riders. And I don't think he's going to have much of a problem with this hook, because we know he is massively powerful when it comes to these party.
We're saying no trouble at all, but then we are the ones sitting in a commentary box right now, and that is like a 6-foot high rock. I mean, it's definitely not exactly no trouble at all, but he did make it look pretty easy.
I don't know, sitting here, I didn't find it that hard.
No, I didn't find it
super easy to watch. All right, so here's the next one. Higher than your head. Now, big side, nice riding there. And being able to keep it controlled and...
Come on, Thomas. Got my money on you, mate.
Keeping it controlled after that mistake and still coming back to clean the section. Nicely done there.
So we got Benny Boy, Benito Ross up next. Always
very strong today, I must say. Very dedicated.
He's a tank. He's just a tank. He's so low.
And, you know, you've got a 17-year-old that's going up stuff like... Ooh, second attempt, not getting it.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to like the takeoff. I think he's getting his takeoff quite wrong. I don't think he's getting the drive and then the pull at the right distance. Seems he's pulling up a little bit late.
I think he would prefer to go straight to back wheel. Oh, so close.
Come back from worse.
Oh, and another jump back. So Wesley, who we were speaking to a little earlier, the course designer, and the other thing that he didn't mention when we were talking is that how long he makes these sections. They are longer than a lot of the
conga.
Longer than a lot of the sections in the other events. And what that means is that if you hang around a long time on a line or jump back, then there we go.
Do you think maybe he put in a huge amount of effort on the
big hook, having to jump back so many times? Abel, with a very big lead.
That's a big lead. Abel was 7.
At that first attempt, straight through, he is riding very, very well. You can see he's been putting in a lot of time in the training, and so controlled, so powerful.
500 grams. So, you know, having just the power in the leg ways.
The frame is definitely under a kilo.
Under a kilo. I mean, that's madness, isn't it? Madness.
So Lucien into the section number 2, the De Kaiser Hotel section, and I'm actually staying in that hotel. Lovely place.
Has he stayed in? Oh, yeah. hang on. I don't think that was a 5. I'm pretty sure that wasn't a 5. No, it's back. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That's
what you got to realise is
he chucked it off exactly the same as anybody else has done. Like, you know, and I know as a rider that as you jump, you kind of like kick your back wheel to the left to roll out, and I've definitely watched them do that. Maybe they're going to give us an action replay, and we can see whether it was a 5 or not.
So that arrow is pretty deep, so you'd have to push it quite far forward, but...
yeah, they gave us an action replay of missing the actual move. Any chance you could spin that back and show us again there, guys? You can actually see, because it definitely looked like he did make it.
All right, so Dominic Oswald into the section now. And let's see if he can also make that. So still 0 points there. Definitely that razor sharp rock seems to be easier on the 20-inch than on the 26. Okay, big kick across. Oh, yes, look at that.
That's how it's done.
Riding a lot deeper before jumping off, and now he's got this next kick. And this is the one where you were saying it's a lot further than what it looks like on TV. You actually can't see in there because of all the rocks lying around. But the rock you got to kick off from, you can't just kick off the ground because it's that loose sand.
Well, the thing is, there isn't really, I don't know about the advantage of a disc over a rim brake or a rim brake over a disc. It's just different choices and what you prefer, how you prefer to ride. Basically, a disc brake, you get a little bit more feathering and you can modulate it a bit better, whereas with a rim brake, you get that instant lock of power to flip over the handlebars a bit better on the front wheel moves. Oh, come on. 3 points.
So 3 for Dominic, and he's out.
That jumps him past Lucien so far.
Now, this is an
You're going to hurt yourself.
All right, so in comes the 17-year-old in the colors of Jitsi. Nicely done. Definitely the 20-inch riders seeming not to find that rock nearly as difficult as the 26.
You know, that's really interesting, isn't it? I wonder what the difference is and why they're finding it. They seem to be sailing over it much.
I think obviously the
just better riders.
The 26, well, the 26 is a little bit longer, so when your wheel's on the back wheel, I think sits a little bit lower. And with the 20, the wheels being slightly closer together, it is, you can kind of... Still just the 1 point, and I don't know how he hooked that. That was actually quite amazing.
It was awesome. He just got that Alejandro Montalvo down at the end. 2 points.
Nicely done there by him.
Who is the other guy talking besides Andre? That is, of course, the man himself, Dylan Victor, all the way from South Africa. It's going out to Rui Perez.
Nearly as expensive as your regular mountain bikes. You can get yourself a really good bike for much less than what you would pay for.
Oh, that's a definite 5 from Thomas. No. That is unlucky. So Dominic's jumped past Lucien.
Now actually jumped.
God. So quite often you'll see that that move that Benito just did there. When you start to just lose your balance, you basically just drive, throw your bike straight the way through the markers, up and over.
Benito is going to try and side hop this thing.
Yeah, so we saw a couple of the 26-inch guys do that. And I was kind of 50 before he even went. I think he was just trying to get going. Oh, Benito, unlucky. Right now.
All right, and looking into the course comes the current world champion, World Cup champion, many times world champion, and
is there anything this guy hasn't won? Look at that! Oh, yes!
How's that for control? Just so smooth,
so precise.
It almost looks like he's not. You know, he's holding back by 10% the whole time, just so that he can he make sure. You know, he never quite
pushes that. I mean, obviously, Abel's from a place called Casp down in Spain.
Especially going into the Lotto section, because that's...
yeah, the same kind of rocks with that dusty surface. Yes.
Very nicely done there. Look at the control. Just
he's a smart lad.
Done. And he's outside.
Is that clean? It's clean. I thought it was a 1, but it's a clean.
0 points.
Of course.
I do not know how Lucien saved that. The front.
A little bit more.
So as you can see there, the difference, the 26-inch more smashing the bike into the obstacle, rolling it up. And as you can see with this move, they're going straight to the back wheel with the 20-inch. Yes, and he does it. Lucian straight to the back wheel in between those gates. Beautiful.
Oh, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. So here we go. Lucian lining up for this big hook up the delivery box, straight off the back of a delivery bike, weighing in at a cool 1.5 tons. The guy that rides with that box on the back must have legs the size of my chest. So
here he goes, big hook. Onto the bash guard.
1 point on that move.
That is, will give you a single point, so you may not actually put it down. That's it, 3.
3 or 4? 4,
down.
I think he's on 4.
1 for time.
Yeah.
4 points there for Lucian.
He doesn't look happy with that. He overshot his front tyre there on the way up. I think on the 20-inch bikes, maybe it's better to do like we saw Jack do that Frenchy switch technique where you just bounce the front tyre off rather than drive and lock the front brake. It is a fair-sized gap. It's not the biggest gap in the world, but of course after doing all of those moves, very, very difficult.
And as Wesley was saying earlier, it's one thing doing it in practice, it's another thing doing it in competition.
You can
look
see
at that
how
position.
steep look at his back wheel. Look how close his back wheel is. It's pulling him down underneath.
The ground there.
Oh,
hooking
first
it.
try.
Very nice.
Yeah, the crowd absolutely loving this as well.
Dominic, can he get up the delivery box? It's the big one. As you can see his frustration.
At all. So
that was an important move.
Yeah, Lucian and Dominic are now tie on 9 points each after 3 sections. And like you said, you can see how thin that run-up is. So it's not when you ride along concrete, the flat floor, you can kind of weave a little bit side to side. You don't have to put that power, that direct power through in a totally straight line. Whereas here, of course, you have to keep that power going dead straight. Yeah. I'll jump in and help Mark if I need to, especially when I'm riding. So it'll be interesting to see how Alejandro gets on with this, because we're saying he hasn't quite got the same power as the other guys, but I think he's going to figure out a way to get through this.
I think so.
Look at how steep that is. You can see his back tyre getting sucked underneath that piece of wood, because the little 20-inch wheels tearing those forks apart.
Look at the pressure. You can see that wheel just...
Yeah, look. Oh my God, he got through the markers!
What a genius. 17 years old, and he figured that out. That is incredible. He did put his foot down, but he realized...
Oh, that was so dirty!
17-year-old, he's a genius. He figured out how to do that. He knows he doesn't have the power to do it straight up. And knowing that if he can get across and take the dab, he's going for position here. He's not trying to clean, he's trying to get through, limit the losses, and get a good score in the end.
Well, he's having a little feel of the run-up. I reckon he can get this.
Not 5 points.
Gutted for him. Gutted for him. Do you know what? It's really interesting, because I actually, I'll be honest, like looking at that hook, I didn't think it was that bad. But we're seeing with the 20s that they're struggling a little bit with it.
A lot. And,
back tyre ripping underneath.
Oh, okay, so 1 point on the bash ring.
All right, having a 1 so far.
On the bash guard, sorry. And so now he's going to want to get onto here. I'm sure he's going to go straight to back, because we know he can go very high straight to back. But also driving off that loose dirt. Oh, jumping back.
You know, one thing is with Thomas, I think he runs about 50 PSI on his back tyre. It does seem to be a lot harder than a lot of the other guys most of the time. And it looked to me like that was causing him an issue with the grip there a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, come on, Thomas.
You can do this.
3 points so far. Come on. Come on, Thomas. Crowd's getting
time now. He's only got 17 seconds left.
17 seconds. Get motor
he's
in.
already
He's got
on
to turn.
3 points. He's got to get this hook first time.
He's got 1 time point to use. Come on. Come on, Thomas. There it is.
There
Come
we
on,
go.
keep going. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. Cruising through the rest of it. I think he's gonna get another one on time. He's so close, and that's his 5. Absolutely gutted. The rest of the section, he was just toying with. Oh my God, what a moment.
Amazing here.
Yep. The man with the afro. What's he got? Looking at that front tyre. Just looking, you can see there's a tiny little notch that everyone's sort of looking for, and you can see the back wheel is just kind of buckling underneath. The log's not really long enough. You see that axle, where the rear axle is, it's underneath that piece of wood.
Oh, and he doesn't use the
How
he
did
doesn't
get
use
that
the
clean?
bash ring.
How did he get that clean from that position with the back tyre stuck underneath?
Well, I think he did it because I think he's probably one of the more flexible riders. He was just so tight on
Yeah.
the bike. Beautiful, keeping it right there. Straight to the back wheel.
This is mental, absolutely mental. Come on, Benito. Straight to
Oh,
back
straight
wheel.
to
First
back.
put, you see?
Yep.
Straight to back. Not sure if Jack or anyone else did it earlier on. I don't think we saw it. Here we go. Can he get it first time? Come on,
There we
Benito.
go. Come on, you can do this.
Here we go.
Yeah!
Woo! Fighting hard to control his
Okay,
balance
22
there.
seconds left.
Nearly
20
to the
seconds.
mark. 20 seconds.
Okay.
2 points. Is it a 3? Get another one on time. 2 points. Clean. I thought he was. I'm not talking about the bike, of course. Like that was pretty mad, wasn't it? He has got an incredible pedal-up technique, and the power that he can push through is just incredible. From Ellis Sirac.
And we do know that he
Vamos
definitely likes the bike he's on because he made it himself.
Made it
obviously.
himself.
It's his own brand. All right, so the big hook at the back, 48 seconds left, so time is on his side. Oh!
You can see from where we're sitting in the commentary box, we're sort of like in a direct line looking forwards at BEL right now. And he actually kind of disappears and then reappears for this hook. That's how big
so
it is.
big. All right, and as you can see, that lineup, that run-in is not easy. Here he goes. Yes!
Oh, man, smooth as you like. 3 times, so Ross on 12. This is a very tight score between these guys so far.
We had to sort that out. All right, so Lucian Liza into the section, and this is where it's going to be interesting because as we saw, the 20 inches seem to find those narrow edges slightly easier than the 26s, but this is a different kind of section, and the sandstone, maybe the bigger wheel gives more traction. It's going to be interesting to see. Look at that.
Yes, Lucian. I'll tell you what, he's just sailed through the first 2 gates, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Very easily. And look at the time, still good on time.
I just want to say a shout out to all of our international listeners or
he
watchers.
he turned on the number 1.
Oh, didn't quite get the hook.
He got it. Looked like he had it, and then just off. Okay, so hooking it now.
Just want to say hello to Dan Robbins from California.
Arms are burning. You're absolutely shattered, and then to pull off such a big move right at the end, it must be agony on the body.
You're dead right. That's the thing. I mean, there is a few riders out there that are really big, powerful riders, and on that day, that's what really counts. You know, cuts the men from the boys.
All right, Dominic riding quite.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the 2 wheels and up is probably what I'd be most comfortable with. And as you say correctly, it is limestone, I believe, that they're riding on.
Yep, and just the fantastic statue you see here. That's the Brabo statue, and it's actually he's throwing Antwerpen. It's throw the hand into the river. So quite a beautiful statue here right in front of the City Hall, and all these beautiful shiny gold emblems on all the buildings. Really, it is just one of the most amazing kind of squares you've ever seen. And you've got the beautiful church pulling to back. Still 0 points in this section, and he's got the...
oh, man. He can do this. He can do this.
Dominic Cannon. We
Dominic.
know he's got a big side up in him. Just catching the pedal on the way over.
Okay, that was 1 point for the pedal.
Oh, nicely done there, onto the front.
Do love that technique.
Super narrow rock. And that's, as you can see by the judge, that kick, he's using every single inch he can. Here he goes, hold it, no!
Oh my God, he's so close.
In 27 seconds, if he can get through here, if he can keep it on that back wheel for the #1 ball, he can get through it.
He might as well give this a go. Is he going to give it a go? He's looking for the run-up.
He's going to take the Kenny move in the finals, but in the semis, if you get halfway through the section and you got 5 points, you don't ride to the end and being able to practice the section for your second lap. You need to ride it up.
I think the penalty points going over time is the best thing, you know, possible. There's nothing worse than getting right to the end of the section and thinking, like, if I just had another 5 seconds, you know, I'd be over that. Jack Carthy can understand that.
Straight to back wheel. Okay, is he going to keep it on the 1? He does.
Yeah. Oh, straight to back tyre. Boom.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Thomas.
Look at the time. Still 50 seconds on that sandstone is just so loose, and it just breaks away. You can't expect to find traction on it. And the tires the guys use on their bikes, very, very soft compound. I mean, there's more grip on that. If you were to put that onto a regular mountain bike, 10 kilometers, it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a normal tire.
You remember the old slow Rize tires? You roll that. He's won, I think, 4 elite world titles, maybe more. Countless World Cup wins, European, Spanish, everything. Trials, you just can't, you can't come close to it, really.
The other amazing thing about Benito is the community that gathers around him. You know, they're always having a dinner before the races.
Nationalities.
Everybody comes together. You know, went over to the. Not getting his height today.
Do you know what? I think he's not there in his head. That's what it is. It's like me early on in the semi-finals. It's just not there. I might as well have stayed in England, you know, and you just can't. You don't know why, what it is. You just can't get yourself together. Get that feeling on the bike.
There we go. Big move. He can do this. Come on. There we go. Oh. That is just not like Benito.
Not at all.
He's just not having a great day. We know what he's got in him, and unfortunately, seeing him struggle on something like that. Such a good job being done, and such an amazing event they put on. Just really an honor to be here. Oh, look how smooth and fast. That is incredible.
That was like, I don't know, like 10 seconds through the gate, and he's just bam, bam, bam. What? They've given him a 5.
What?
I think they said he didn't go through the marker in #2. Oh, there was a girls' gate on the right-hand side, I think. There's a red gate there.
Oh, let's see what's
there's a single line. There's a single line. Yeah, it's a single marker, not a double. So it looks like it's covered out in silver on the one side and then round the other side of the rock. That's both on 17. So that's 8, 9, 11, 12. I mean, that's...
The race is still open.
Yeah, a 5 can change. Decided to put this in so that you could, like, you had to pedal, jump into it, really pump the front wheel down. Check this out, pumping down.
Oh, you see,
he's getting a feel for it. Do you know what? I think Lucien could have over-jumped a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think he just didn't get that pump. If you put the front wheel in and pumped out the front wheel, he would have got more drive out of that.
Yeah, you really got to push super hard into that to get the pace, because there isn't enough.
Oh my God! That's not the kind of thing you see very often.
Rule #1 in trials: don't drop the front wheel.
Don't flip over the handlebars.
And but yeah, so Lucien now got this big hook. And this was the very difficult one. You got to drive off that log. And so here we go. Go 1.5 meters up, start on a log. There we go, it'll be easy. Oh, straight to back.
He's done it straight to back.
Beast. That is amazing. Still only the 1 point that he picked up on that bash guard.
Doing well. 10 seconds. Big gap across.
Out.
And he's at the end. He's in time. That was a 1. So Luce, Dominic has to
The competition is still totally open.
Fight. All it takes, you know, if a Bell 5's this and these guys make it through, a Bell could still be off the podium even at this point now.
It just shows you the level and how difficult this competition in this course really is.
Yeah.
Earlier, you know, the difference between the 20 and the 26. Some courses seem to be easier for 20s, others for 26. And this one is definitely more suited to the 26 riders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just saw such low scores. It's crazy.
Oh, 5 points.
Dominic, that is a shame.
Oh.
Here when you go, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this. Go round and then boom, power in.
Yeah.
I think he was a little bit too hasty to try and go quickly.
No, definitely. He just went straight out in. And
yeah,
very nicely done.
He sailed through that. We were talking to him earlier on, walking around, and looked at that, and I thought, does look pretty tricky. I mean, that's a long way up. But
and he said it's very easy. You just do this, and he did exactly that.
Yeah, fair play to
All
him
right,
there.
here we go. Let's see it. Come on, Alejandro. Here we go.
Oh my God! Yeah! Yes, that was amazing! Oh my God, that was so sick. Alejandro, unfortunately, is out of the game for the podium, mate. But he's gonna win my my ride of the day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I don't see how anybody could beat that.
There's gonna have to be something special to beat that.
Man, I hope somebody's got that at a really good angle from the side. Oh, that's not a 5. That's not a 5. He's on the bike. Come on, big push. Come on. Oh. No, Alejandro. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He made the kick. It's a front wheel.
You are a legend for that move. Kick it to front. Can we please have a replay of that? Let's.
Please give us a replay of that. Slow-mo as you like.
Let him wave because he deserves every ounce of credit he can. Just look at this. Watch here. Watch it.
Little kick.
Front.
And then
holds it. Little bunch. Oh.
What the hell?
That was
so
just
cool.
insane.
So good to watch. Amazing.
They could show that.
Should be on paper.
Here we go.
Should have a little feel on it first, though. Yeah,
okay.
good. But he did the same as Lucien did.
Lucien landing a little bit too much on the back wheel. You need to land on the front wheel.
He's not riding that like a BMX.
Nope.
He's not riding that like a BMX. He needs to watch some Danny Mac videos. Learn that BMX way. Come on, man. You can do this.
Come on.
Come on, Thomas. Get moving.
So, currently 13.
Here we go. Come on. Oh, so close to back wheel as well.
Okay, here we go. Come on, Thomas.
Come on.
Got the big hook. The hook is not his problem. We know he's strong, but can he line up on that log to get it done? So here we go, lining up on the log. See how he's finding his balance, getting the bike straight, standing on that log, lining up. He's going to compress his body.
Come on, Arnold.
Blow it out. Here he goes. Oh,
back
straight
wheel.
To back wheel. Okay, 14 seconds. I think
2 2s, 5 and 5. So more sections with a lower score would be Dominic. Oh, very close.
that was impressive.
Waving to this massive crowd we've got here. Such a cool
Just
crowd.
1 point off the podium. Oh! He actually fell off there.
Nearly killing himself.
I think the next time you climb on an obstacle, Thomas, take your bike. You seem better at it. All right.
So I just watched the replay of Thomas stacking it, walking off the log. Okay, here we go, Benito. What do you reckon? I reckon yes.
Yes, he's going to do it.
Benito's got it.
He's going to do it. He's going to clean this section.
I want a cup of tea, and sit down in front of the fire. And he nearly he lost his step.
It's not easy climbing off that thing. It's quite regular.
At the moment, we have Lucien Leiser in the lead with 11 points.
If the BEL 5 this.
Oh, really? Can you
Oh,
believe
yeah.
it?
Yeah, he's on 12, you see. 12, 4 will be 13.
What?
What? Yeah!
First time.
How? How did he react that fast? It's like, oh, this is going wrong. I'll go to there and go to there. Years of experience to just find those little points, put the wheels on. Mental.
So, the win is not finalized yet. It's close, but it's not quite there. Anything can happen in the sport of trials, but the overall title for the UCI World Cup has been decided. He's pulled that one off, and
can he finish with a win, though?
He's going to want to finish.
And hello to Kevin Lou as well.
Look at this.
And Jason.
He's going to load up. Big power.
Yeah. Seriously.
Having to get that front wheel right over that step.
They don't know how big that is.
No, it's huge.
It's not really a pedal up to 2 wheels.
He's doing the scoring. Well done.
Benito Ross on 22 points and Alejandro Montalvo on 22 points as well. Because Benito finished higher in the 3. It would go to, is that right? Am I right? I think maybe.
Yeah, could be. So there's a couple of different things that they would do to determine the winner if in the event of a tie. And one of those things... Organisers, the Beale family, VW Commercial, the UCI, VW Commercial Vehicles, the UCI, everybody here bringing us the live feed. It's been absolutely fantastic. A couple of seconds, so we'll hand over to Tom for the Elite Men 20-inch interview.
Yeah. We're here with Elite Men 20-inch winner Abel Mustieles. Abel, big congratulations, big win today. How much do you think about the overall win today?
I was a little bit nervous, to be honest, because in Antwerp it's always double points, so anything can happen here. And the first half of the race was quite tense because I knew the points about Benito and me because he was the biggest enemy today. And the last 2 sections was really relaxed because I knew the overall was already done. Its own style, so I don't know. There is no secrets for the style.
Okay, Abel, in Spanish, can you walk us through your day here, through the race?
Bueno, muy bien. Hoy estaba un poco más tenso de lo normal porque como a pesar de haber hecho buenos resultados en la Copa del Mundo, en las primeras rondas, Amberes vale el doble, entonces hay que hacerlo muy bien en Amberes. Cualquier cosa puede pasar. Así que he intentado lo mejor, me ha salido, a veces sale, a veces no, y bueno, muy contento, muy contento.
Gracias, cumpleaños.
Muchas gracias.
And so what you see now out on the course is all the youngsters, all the kids in the area coming through and trying out all these lines that they see the pros riding.
Mate, it's not all youngsters. Andrew Choi's over there. He's about 45.
All the way from Japan.
High five. All right.
All right, and here's the highlights of the 20-inch here today. 20-inch men. All right, and that really was an amazing event. And thinking to my favorite kind of lines and what happened. I mean, we both got our favorite, which is Alejandro Montevallo going to that front wheel. But I also got to say,
clearly,
I really loved Thomas staying on the back wheel on that #1 ball.
Yeah,
that was quite a good line he did.
Yeah,
basically everything. Yeah, I mean, it's hard
I wonder if he could have done all sections without a break. I'm fairly sure he would have done. And little Charlie Rolls there has just done that knife point edge rock on his back wheel.
Oh.
He literally just switched the back wheel, stayed on it, casually rolled along on back wheel and dropped off slowly.
Yeah, he is definitely going to be a world champion of the future. So
yeah.
Big out to Charlie Rolls. Yeah, riding today at 16 years old. He's definitely a rider that everybody's going to know his name very well in the next few years. He's unbelievable. I don't understand how somebody 16 years old can do what he can do. And yeah, it's also going to be talking a bit more ladies event. That one's going to be interesting at the World Champs because yeah, the new rules is going to affect the race a lot.
The World Champs, and I'm not sure if they're actually bringing it into the World Cups next year. I'm not 100% sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens out in Chengdu in China. It's a whole new format, a whole new concept, mixed in with a lot of different cycling disciplines. Formerly, it's been mixed in with downhill, four cross.
It's going to be an amazing competition, really.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens out there. And yeah,
how far did he win by?
Yeah, it was a bit of a show. Really.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
I mean, we had the likes of Wiedler, young German rider, and he was amazing. There was to be fair, there's 3 or 4 of the cadet riders that are very, very good. And Charlie, Charlie's just got that little bit above him at the moment, but I mean they've got some.
Today's event, but then we will also be having the podium for the UCI Trials World Cup overall for the year, and that is the combination of all of the events that happened throughout the year, and that will be awarded. Obviously, we know who the winners of that is. It was Gilles Costelier in the 26, and well, you're going to watch it on the podium, but yeah.
In second place, also representing France, Gilles Costelier. It is Matthias again from Milwaukee Tools, who want to give to Gilles Costelier a nice trophy for his second place here in Antwerp. Ladies and gentlemen, Gilles Costelier for France. And now, the winner of today, representing Great Britain, Jack.
All right, so on the podium, look at that. We've got Nicolas Valli, Gilles Costelier, and Jack Carthy. Jack really deserves this one.
To be fair, he deserved a lot of it again for another year. But he definitely deserved the win today. I mean, he rode very, very well, and his only point.
He kind of like calmed down, and it's almost made his riding even better. I mean,
yeah, definitely. I think I always used to find it a bit strange that he looked so angry, but it's nice to see him smile and be a bit happier. Here we go. Highlights from the female elite finals.
The third place, representing Sweden, Nadine Kamark. Nadine Kamark, congratulations with your third place in the World Cup. En het is Matthias Mettenpenningen van Milwaukee Tools, die heel graag Nadine Kamark een gepaste trofee zal meegeven naar huis. voor de behaalde derde plaats. From Sweden, Nicolas. And then we have the second place, representing France, Manon Basseville.
So a big smile on the face there from Nadine on the podium. Amazing that she's there. The fact that she's been in the sport for such a short space of time.
We'll give it to Manon a nice trophy for the second place on the World Cup in Antwerp. Representing France, Manon Basseville.
Big smile. She's very, very happy to be up there.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of today, representing Germany, Nina Reichenbach.
Nina also really deserving that. Great ride by her today. Just that one small mistake, getting that 5 points, but she fought back, good battle, and really solid riding. Well done there to Nina for the win in the ladies here at the Trials World Cup here in Antwerp.
Yeah, I think Nina's pretty good at, I've seen her do it in a few competitions now in the finals where she's had a 5 quite early on and then managed to kind of go, right, okay, now I need to ride sensibly and just stay ahead and like regain those points. So I think she maybe needs a bit of pressure to kick in, you know? Start trying hard.
And here's all the best bits of the 20. Oh, and there's Thomas turning on that.
There it is.
Antwerp 2017 for 20-inch bikes. On the third place, representing Austria, Thomas Behaken.
Now, as much as Thomas is going to be happy to be on the podium,
there he is.
I think he wanted to win. I mean,
Thomas Behaken from Austria.
He wanted to win. He's always happy to be on the podium. He said that's his goal, get on the podium. But
who want to give Thomas a nice trophy for his
he's got the ability to win.
Second place, representing
lots of different organisers, 5 different countries, done 4 different countries, done incredibly well. Been a very exciting year.
Representing Spain, Abel Mustieles.
And yeah, the scores are relatively high for a final. You know, very few, definitely no. Well, there was a lot of zeros there, but not any clean runs, not any dominations. I mean, we saw Jack do it in the 26, but yeah, that didn't really happen in the 20 here today.
But then even said that, you know, Gilles was only on 5 points, 4 points difference.
Yeah,
it's not a lot. 1-5 could change all that. You know, it's still very close. Very close indeed.
Well done, guys.
Next up, guys, we are going to be seeing the overall podium for the 2017
1 in Antwerp in Belgium, 2 in France, 1 in Austria, and then the final one in Antwerp. So we make a classification of these 5 World Cups. So here we can present you the overall winners of the UCI World Cup. We are starting with 26-inch. These are not the winners of the World Cup, eh? Okay. Dames en heren, zien ze er mooi uit? Ja, hè? Maybe have a big applause for our missus from Belgium. Yes. Nice smile. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony for the 26-inch overall 2017 in third place, representing France, Vincent Hermans. Vincent Hermans. Third place on the World Cup overall, Vincent Hermans. Ah, there he is. Het is ook Matthias van Milwaukee Tours, die heel graag een trofee van de World Cup wil overhandigen aan Vincent Hermans. Third place overall, Vincent Hermans.
So the podium you see now is for the overall, which is the combination of all the 5 events that we've had throughout the year. And that's for your overall World Cup standings. So third place there goes to Vincent Hermans. Second
Jack
place.
looking very happy there, isn't he?
Huh?
Jack's looking very happy there in second place.
No. Jack knows only one position, and that's on the top step. And I think he gets rather upset if he isn't on it.
Yeah, toys out the pram, I believe is the expression.
But you know what? He will also one day maybe chill and.
Sorry? One day
he'll chill and have fun.
He will. He will. Just like Gilles. So, yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
You know,
it's great to see Gilles. You know, he had a couple of years down. He's trained really hard. He's worked really hard. He's figured out what he wants, and he's come back and he's on the top step. And,
look at that, huh? And look at that smile.
And he's smiling.
He's happy.
Smiling.
You know, and the other thing I've got to give him, his beard is coming along nicely.
Do you know what? He's getting there.
Getting there, huh?
Benito, you know, Benito's going to have a run for his money soon.
Very soon, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's well groomed. Proper. I think he should turn it into a Leonidas beard.
Oh dear.
Winter time is coming up. I might get my beard out soon.
Overall, Gilles Couselier is the winner. Second place, Jack Carty. Third place, Vincent Hermans.
Fantastic. 3 great guys. And
3 hard-working, highly motivated, very athletic, very strong, very focused, concentrated guys.
In a few weeks in China. And see each other again, maybe in Antwerp. Good luck, thanks a lot.
all right, that's it. And so next up we will have the ladies in the overall World Cup standings.
Now, representing the podium for the women overall UCI World Cup. The third place, representing Switzerland, Debbie Studer. Debbie Studer, third place overall in the World Cup.
Debbie's still riding,
There
actually.
she is.
They had to literally drag her off the bike to get her onto the podium. She just loves riding, posting a lot of videos. And also one of the smiley faces on the tour. She's
Absolutely, yeah.
always happy, always smiling.
From Switzerland.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Always very happy, and her riding's just dramatically improved the last few years. Absolutely brilliant. See Adam Morwood down there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. He's up-and-coming beast. Really, really good. Finished 4th place in the cadet category. Jack's already back on his bike as well.
And then, ladies and gentlemen,
Child at heart, Jack is. Can't get off the bike.
I think it's just at heart. I think he's just a child.
All right, and so back to the ladies' podium, and that is it for the year. Nina taking it very easily, actually, in the end. Obviously, the win today just really putting her stamp of domination on the year as it went on. Before today, she was just under 100 points ahead, and after today, seriously pulling a big lead out on the other ladies, of course, today is double points. So the final event of the year, giving you double points, and just fantastic to see her there. She's going to be so happy. She was worried about this course yesterday when I spoke to her, and it just all came together so nicely for her. Well done. And now we will be going on to the 20-inch for the UCI final World Cup standings. And this is the overall for the year.
It's for the 20-inch overall.
And Nadine Kamar coming very close to third place. Just 30 points between her and Debbie.
It is also Matthias Mettenpenningen, who has to work very hard today, for Milwaukee Toons. And a nice trophy for Lucia Leiser. Bien fait, Lucien, avec ton troisième place. And then the second place, representing Spain, we have Benito Ross. Benito Ross on second place. I think Benito have doping control, I think so. You have doping control. Is he already ready? No? Second place is for Benito Ross. But we are going to the winner, I think. Or what are we doing? The UCI is looking forward. Ladies and gentlemen,
all right, so small delay here. What we've heard is Benito Ross actually in the doping control. So the doping control, in other words, do the testing to make sure we've got a clean sport, which it has been up to now and will hopefully be for many years to come. So we're just waiting for Benito to come back from the testing, and then we will... not sure exactly what the progress is going to be now. Okay, so they're not going to wait for Benito. Carrying on.
He have won all the 5 World Cups, I think. And that means that he is now the winner of the World Cup. I don't know if Benito is already over there or not.
1,140 points for Benito Ross there.
And just look at that.
Well,
Benito and Lucian on the same point, 795. And I wonder how they determined who was the winner there. That must have been some crazy calculating happening
Serious
to try
bum war going on there.
try and get that decision made.
The stage, please. The 3 winners, 26-inch, the ladies, and also a 20-inch. May we have these 3 riders on the stage, please? Abel, Nina, and Jack Carty. No, Gilles aussi. Gilles Couslier. Oh, excusez-moi.
All right, and now we're just getting all the winners together on stage for a photo. And that's the best riders in the world for 2017. And that's the UCI World Cups. So that's the 5 events that has happened throughout the course of the year.
Daar staan ze dan, hè? De 3 World Cup winners. A lot of photos, eh? A lot of smiles also. The other side, guys. Okay. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very well for your presence in Antwerp. Hopefully you enjoyed
All right,
your stay
and
in Antwerp.
that's it for today. Thank you very, very much. Thanks to Andre Burton beside me. You're a legend.
Dylan, mate, it's been emotional. Thank you so much.
I think I'm going to start crying. But a big thanks to everybody else that's involved, the UCI. It was absolutely awesome being here. Great riding by them and all the spectators and all of you at home. Thanks for tuning in. And
big thank you to the City of Antwerp and all of the organisers. Finn, Ronnie, Andy, Wesley, all of them for putting in all of the effort and all of the hours to make this amazing event happen. And I am really looking forward to next year.
It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to be here. And yeah, we'll see you guys next year. Cheers.
The mental support